Might as well. All
Get it
right, we are
crackling.
officially live, gents.
We are live
How's it
and
going, everybody? And now I'll know like where to look for the comments and everything because like you can see the YouTube comments on StreamYard.
Yep. Purple Goat's already in there. We already got somebody lining it up. Cool.
what's up? That's folk right there. What up?
All right, let's see. All right, it is live. We got 3 people watching.
Cool.
Welcome, everybody.
For those 3
Welcome.
people
Thanks for
watching,
joining.
if you're not already following Master Your Ash, please subscribe right now. Please hit that like button. We appreciate y'all.
My man.
Thank you
Oh, hell
very,
yeah.
very much.
Needs to happen. Extremely well deserved.
Yes, indeed.
Just happy to smoke a cigar with y'all.
Yes, sir. So,
I gotta say, man, honestly. Oh, sorry about that. I was just gonna say, honestly, man, I wait for this, fellas. That's all. That's all I was gonna say, man. I wait for this. This is a big deal for me. So
they're fun, man. Like I wake up, because I usually stay up way later than I should on these, or than I usually do on these nights. So I wake up like really groggy the next day, but I'm like, I had such a great time the night before,
How did you
how
sleep
it's
last
supposed to
night
be.
after your nugs, buddy?
Dude, you know what? I didn't feel like as affected by it this last time trying it. Like, because with like the first time I had it, it's where we're talking about the CBD cigar, Keelan.
Right.
It has 100 milligrams of CBD in it. It's the JSK, the Johnson Carl Nugs Maduro, and it's the first time I tried it, I was feeling like tingly like sensations on my appendages, phalanges, legs, all that shit. But it took like till the end of the cigar to really feel that. But then like after I finished the cigar and I went inside to relax, like settling down, I passed out on the couch.
It's only a matter of time. Your body was just giving you those warnings, like, yo, we about to go to sleep.
Dude, yeah. It was, and that night, because this was like probably 4 p.m. Like I took a fat hard nap, and then I went to bed, and like that night I got like the best sleep I gotten in years. It was miraculous. It was amazing. And then last night, because I get these from my boss orders like boxes of 25 of these, and they're like $600 a box. It's fucking it's
Wow.
nuts. So he just gave me 3 yesterday. I'm like, okay, thanks, dude. And I'm like, I'm definitely gonna put one of these to use like very soon. And I smoked it, the same day. And I didn't feel as affected by it this time around. Like I definitely felt like, I fell asleep pretty easily, but I mean, it was like 10, 11 p.m. when I went back inside anyways. So I don't know. I got 2 more, so we'll see.
You never know. It could be the dosage.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be like maybe like what I ate before. It could be a variety of things. But highly, like anybody who's watching, highly recommended. Don't write it off because it's CBD, because it's the relation to whatever. But it is something like I'm not the person to experiment with any sort of like chemicals or whatever. But that, just knowing it's all natural and everything, that shit fucking helps. Like if you want to be able to like get a great night's sleep, like that thing will do the trick. Just try it. Why not? I mean, the only thing holding it back is that they're expensive. It's like a $25 like Rothschild,
But it's a
you get
cigar,
what you.
man. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, it's still not a bad idea, man.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know that. That was, it takes a second. It kind of sneaks up on you, but at least for my first experience smoking it. But it was, I had the 20 milligram Mad Tasty, the soda water with the yuzu citrus in it. And, that by itself, like I've probably drank maybe like 10 of those over the course of the last year that my company started distributing those. And those are cool. They chill, they chill you out at the end of the night. I would say that you do sleep a little bit easier, but I also, the wife and I, we just ordered this tea that was out of stock at our local grocery store that I really like. It's ashwagandha tea, but it has marshmallow root in it, so it's kind of creamy, and it's just
Sounds good.
it's absolutely delicious. Like, and that really like kind of just chills me out at the end of the day.
Does it so like the sparkling the carbonated water, the drink, the yuzu that you had, does it taste like just like a like a LaCroix? Does it taste something like pretty similar to that?
Yeah, pretty much. They have 3 flavors. They have a ruby red grapefruit, they have a yuzu citrus, and they have a the unicorn tears, the ruby red grapefruit, and the yuzu citrus. And the unicorn tears is more like that bubble gummy kind of cotton candy, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down. Yeah, that'd be cool to try.
What? Hold on, I gotta show this comment. Andre, I can't use CBD because of a random drug test? Really? They drug test for CBD? That's wild.
That sounds pretty strict.
Yeah.
I think he's a truck driver too, though. He drives trucks, so they probably a little bit more stringent on what he's putting into his body. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
A lot of money, like they're hauling there, I'm sure. So, yeah, and each company can have their own rules.
Wow.
Yeah, just the safety factor being behind the wheel like that, I could imagine that they would probably take anything as precautionary, no matter what the chemical is. So I could see that being the case.
Like a heavy machinery operator too, like anything like that, like nothing.
And you're doing that heavy machinery, long distance, and all that kind of thing. They're probably like, yo, you need to be as sober as you can be. Drink water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Coffee and water, that's all you get.
Right. I should not have waited on this Johnny Tobacco Knot, man. I'm digging this thing so far.
Dude, it's I think Michael likes it a little bit more than I did, but they're extremely like a great Connecticut. Like the fact that that's made that was the first cigar probably like in the last like 5 years that I smoked that was made at AJ's factory. I was like, oh, AJ makes a damn good or he's capable of making a damn good cigar, rolling a damn good cigar.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like he's hit or miss for me, but when he's on, it's on. Like for real, it's on.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. This is on.
So Michael, what'd you light up there?
So we're smoking the Chuck tonight because Halloween is upon us. So I had the tip looking at me, and I do still believe, and I think that after DJ's review too, we all kind of are in the same boat that the tip is a better overall cigar. But I figured that I would throw this on here just so that I could, in case I need to switch out of it. Like EKB is not the only one that had to trash a cigar already.
I felt bad, man. I couldn't deal with that thing.
Man, it's your time, dude. It's your money. It's your time. If you're not enjoying it, throw it the fuck out. Like get a cigar that you're gonna enjoy.
100%.
No, Andy, friends to the end. Remember? Now I gotta watch Child's Play, man. I love that movie, man. I'm sorry.
I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen the original?
No. Dude, I'm not like when you guys like went in like to more detail about horror movies, like when you and DJ were talking about like the Halloween movie series, it was like you might as well be speaking Mandarin. I'm like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
No, when you get time though, man, it's the perfect season.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the original Child's Play. It's a good movie. Especially, it has that, late 80s, early 90s feel to it. But at the same time, it's really a horror. It was really innovative at the time. The stuff that they were doing with the puppeteering and all that kind of stuff is worth the watch, man. And just Chucky was in its rare form at that time.
Yeah. I've never seen Nightmare on Elm Street. Never seen that movie. There's like a lot of movies where I'll say like, yeah, I've never seen that. Where they'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, there's
How did
probably,
you dodge that? How did you dodge that?
dude. Okay, you want to? I'm gonna try and increase the brightness on my phone. Hopefully that doesn't fuck this up. I don't think it did. Okay,
No, you
I'm a I'm a big boxing fan. This is like
right.
how like this is how little I'm into movies for the most part. I'm like a huge boxing fan. Like I love the history of boxing too, like back to Jack Johnson and all that stuff, like way long ago. I've never seen Rocky. I've never watched Rocky.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like
Okay.
I've never seen any Rocky. I've seen The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg. I mean, obviously that's a little more different, more modern, but
By
Rocky
different,
is
you mean
like
sacrilegious is what you're saying right now. That's
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's I guess like there and the thing is like I have movies that I really like, but it's just
Mm.
like the only time I'm really like I get into movies is when a friend sits me down and makes me watch a movie with them because I'm never the type to like to do it myself because I'll just do other shit.
other shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. As far as the comment on the V-Cut, it's always a V-Cut. If I am if I have my cutter with me, it's always a V-Cut. So it's just my preferred method of cutting pretty much all my cigars.
And for torpedoes, do you just V cut like multiple V cuts or do you get like a a straight cut?
If I have to, I'll V-cut it twice, but for the most part, like one V-cut typically does the trick most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I just I like having a little bit of the wrapper on the outside. I actually started with a punch, oddly enough. So for me, it's just I like having that little extra wrapper on the outside to taste.
Yeah.
I started with the
Keelan,
punch too. I
yeah,
couldn't do it.
you shook your head. Do you not like it? You not like punches?
I don't like punches. I don't like the build up with the punches. I don't like the draw with punches. And that's where I
Mm-hmm.
started too. But like once I started doing like a straight cut, I went from punch to V cut to straight cut and haven't looked back.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, every now and then, I got this from Black Box Cigars. I got this V cut. I'll use that every now and then, depending on the type
Right.
of cigar. The only time that
Yeah.
I punch is with a flathead. I will punch with a flathead.
Okay.
You got to.
You know, yeah,
Got to.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Just like it's trying to be. You can get away with depending on like the smaller vitolas. You can get away with a V cut, but when you got like the 660, like just punch that bad boy. It works so much
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yeah.
I do like Drew Estate sent me some cigar scissors earlier at the end of last year. And I do really enjoy the cigar scissors as like a straight cut option because you can really like
You feel very tactile while using them too.
yeah, I feel the most comfortable, right? Would be the way that
Yeah.
I would describe it as far as a
That
straight
makes
cut
sense.
option goes.
Yeah. My
You
friend
would be
Lewis, my friend Lewis always uses a pair of scissors, and like anytime he has the unfoldable kind, like you unfold it.
okay.
It's there. I mean, it's inconvenient because you literally have to like unfold it, and then you have to be very tactile while using them. But you do feel very confident while using them as well. You feel like in complete
Mm-hmm.
control.
I use the scissors like if I got my suit on. Like I gotta have a suit on with that joint. You know what I mean? I gotta have
Yeah.
the button up, the watch showing.
Dapper.
Whole shebang.
Yeah. They use those a lot here in Japan though. Like when you go to the cigar lounges and stuff like that, they pull out the scissors and the whole nine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is
what you got, Matt?
this is the first brick house I have ever smoked.
Man, I'm kind of disappointed because I wanted to put a brick house that's been sitting around for a while. I wanted to send that out to you, man, but I can't top that one. That's a nice start.
This is the Bricktoberfest, the one that just came out for 2022, and
What are you thinking
it
so
seems
far? I know
like
you're early into it.
yeah it's pretty parching on the palate, and that's what I noticed about the Quesada Oktoberfest. That one as well. It's kind of a little bit arid on the palate, and I think that's probably by design to make you want to drink more, make you want to drink more beer with it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not a beer drinker, but that's kind of the science behind it. Maybe Michael could probably have more, more insight on that than I ever could.
I mean, it makes the most sense to me, that you would have a little bit more arid tobaccos, or something in that blend that's going to have it come across as a bit more arid, so that you could, because like Marzen beers, which are typically drank for Oktoberfest, which was kind of what I was talking about with my Casada review, those are typically on the sweeter side, right? Because it was a preservation method back then, because Marzen translates to March, and that's old school how they used to brew them, right? They would brew those beers in March and save them for September. So they would typically brew them a little stronger with a little bit more sugar content as a preservative method back in the day, right? Yeah. So they typically have a little sweeter taste to them, and it would make the most sense to have a drier cigar with the sweeter beer, of course, right? As a compatibility.
Do you know what they're using that? Do you know what the wrapper is and the whole nine with that, Matt?
I'm pretty, if I remember correctly, I think it's a Nicaraguan Puro.
Okay.
I think it may have a double binder as well, because I know, what does Matt Rodriguez say? Is that the King Tut? I think that may be the King Tut cigar that Foundation has coming out. Michael, you looking it up?
No, I was reposting the live stream on the Instagram, but I can definitely double check. What do we have here? We have the Xikar Castle Senator. Xikar Castle Senator.
If that's the one, if I'm right, that cigar looks friggin' beautiful. I think it's like a figurado.
Ooh, nice.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Got a Dojo article. Let's see. This is a beautiful looking cigar.
Have a gold band.
Yeah, gold and purple. 6 3/4 by 52 Perfecto in 12 count boxes. $33 a cigar. And it says that it is Ecuadorian Habano wrapped with the 7th priming, a Brazilian Matafino binder, and undisclosed fillers. Aged 3 years at minimum.
I like what they're talking about. I'm not feeling that price, but I do like what they're saying.
Yeah. And I'm thinking they're probably going to be rolled at AJ's factory, since he works with them a lot.
Should be interesting. I probably won't see that out here for a while, though.
Where you're at.
Yeah, man. I got this new spot that I want to check out, though. It's a cigar. It's not a lounge. This one is not a lounge. This one is just kind of like a regular cigar shop that's in Tokyo. And from what I can see, just from the pictures, they got a little bit of everything. And it's the only spot that I know of that's carrying Padron out here. So I'm ready to kind of go in there and just walk through. It looks like they got a couple aisles of cigars. So I should be able to get my pick once I got time to go out there. So
nice, dude.
Hopefully there's some cool options out there. I still owe you guys some. I didn't forget about you. I still owe you guys, some of the more international cigars. So I've been keeping that in mind. I'm kind of putting some things together. So the wife should come back. She's actually in Italy right now. My wife has been in Rome for the past couple of days, man, taking pictures at the Colosseum and the whole nine.
That's awesome.
Actual Italian food. So she'll be back in a couple of days, so I can kind of get out and explore. We got.
That's cool, dude. And I saw it. Nathany's comment. It is definitely on the dry side, this brick house. But now that I'm getting more into the first third, it's becoming more sweet, which is making it more enjoyable. Getting some like syrupy sweetness on it. I'm digging that. But it is like overall, like the base profile is just kind of parching. And EKB, you
Now,
don't owe us shit, dude. You don't owe us
what's
shit,
that?
man.
Yeah, you
No,
don't
no,
know
owe
no.
us
shit,
That
shit,
man.
man.
when I say that, that's more of the fact that this is what I want to do for you cats, man. Like like that's fun for me. You guys have dropped some dope ass bombs to me for sure. But the fact that I could probably go out here and get some things that you guys have probably never smoked before or haven't seen in a long time, that's exciting for me, man. And honestly, I need something to keep me excited right now. Like I'm having a hard time, like really like staying excited. Just about the
Yeah.
whole thing. So
Well, you've been
that's
so
something.
freaking busy to begin with, dude. Like you haven't had time to be excited about anything.
I, I think that's part of the frustration, like not being able to do what I want right now, and not being able to
Yeah.
to get what I want. It's just kind of like it's kind of taking some of the joy out of it. So if I'm
Hmm.
not just like grabbing a cigar that I want, or chopping it up with you guys like this, I haven't been really like super excited. So
Yeah. It's hard to like find balance when you're too busy to like think about like basic stuff that you usually had time to think about. You know,
honestly,
it's
I
a
need the CBD right now, man. I haven't been sleeping, man. I haven't been able to sleep. I,
yeah.
I
You
really
need a
need it.
tincture. Yeah.
Man, listen, give me some gummies or something. Anything, bro.
Dude, what's melatonin? Like I take that and it
Mm.
knocks me the heck out. Just like I don't know the milligram or anything like that. They're teeny tiny little pills. But like when I feel like I uh are not going to be able to get good sleep that night, I just take melatonin and I'm out. It
What
does the
what
trick, but it
scares
works.
me is
Yeah,
like if I get into a deep sleep, that like I'll be like fuck my alarm. You know what I'm saying? the
dude.
kids miss the bus. You know what I'm saying? I miss the meetings, and then I'm not at work on time. Like that terrifies me, bro.
Yeah,
Terrifies me.
that's a nightmare. Like waking up to like your alarm and it's been going for like 45 minutes. Dude, yeah.
I get anxiety big time. I'm just like, oh God, what did I miss? What did I miss? I'm just like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, that
no.
shit scares
yeah.
the fuck out of me, bro. I'm good for that shit too. Like if I'm not like on the hour, like everything is all foo bar.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Fubar. Yeah, this October, this Bricktoberfest is getting better. Like now that we're past the first third mark, it is getting a lot better. I'm digging it.
This
Mm.
tobacco is a lot more mellow than I expected, but I'm actually kind of cool with that right now. It's a little more even kill than I was expecting it to be. But sometimes that's good. Sometimes you just got mellow flavors. It's not, nothing overpowering, no peppers, anything like that. This is just like smooth, slight
Smooth.
sweetness here, there, a little bit of graham cracker in the background. That's it.
Yeah.
3 grams of scotch.
That'll do it.
Dude,
That'll do
y'all
the
gotta
trick.
understand. I've never had anything close to that. Scotch, whiskey, bourbon, never been in my system at all. If I have like 3 drops of that shit, I'll probably be lost in Tokyo somewhere and they can't find
Dude,
EKB at all.
dude, yeah. I don't like I'm no expert whatsoever, but like, Scotch, like uh, like my dad, that was his drink. Like he loved his freaking famous grouse and what was the other one he liked a lot? Um, Dewar's. He
Mhm.
loved those friggin' scotches. That's all he drank. And like I would like just go up and like smell the bottle, and I'd almost hurl. Like I smell the alcohol, and I was like, this is so disgusting. But I'm sure there's a lot better quality scotches out there. But like my experience with scotch, that's it. Like the very like base level 5 year age Dewar's and famous grouse. Just like that, smelling it.
I'm a big fan of Famous Grouse. Actually, I think that it
Like
is
like
very
the
underrated.
base the base like the 5 year like the cheapest kind they have.
Yeah, well, so they do the Famous Grouse and then they do the Black Grouse. And the Black Grouse just has a little bit more, I believe it's Isla in the blend, so a little bit more of the smokier, peatier scotches that they add
My
to
Okay.
it.
dad, yeah, my
Dewar's and
dad wouldn't
Famous,
like that.
yeah, Dewar's and Famous Grouse are both blends, so they have scotches from all over that they're blending together. It's just a blended
Yeah,
Scotch whiskey. But I
Yeah.
mean, for $20-$30 a bottle, like you can't go wrong with either one of those. I mean, Dewar's was the first one that I kind of got into as far as a blended Scotch goes, and then it went like Johnny Walker Black Label for a little while. But
Yeah.
I found Famous Grouse, and that was like my go-to for my early 20s.
Yeah, like you get to, like you said, get a bottle of that, like the big bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That could probably go a long way. And my
Oh
my
yeah.
dad, he would only drink blended. Like he hated single malt he just didn't have a palate for it. He liked his blended. That's what he liked. And I remember just on a whim, like one Father's Day, getting him going to the going to a Bevmo on the way to their house to for Father's Day or Christmas or whatever. And I got him. It just looked cool to me. I'm like, what the fuck? In the Scotch aisle, there's Monkey Shoulder, and
Mm-hmm.
he ended up loving Monkey Shoulder too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yo, who comes up with these names, yo? Monkey shoulder?
Apparently,
Well,
well, I
there's
think the story's on the label for Monkey Shoulder. It's like
Okay, okay.
the guys who like carry the barrels or like the bales
Mm.
of barley or whatever.
mhm.
Like they would get like sore shoulders or whatever, be hobbling around.
Kind of walking.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, okay. Now that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I always made the argument that blended Scotch was it was the connoisseur's Scotch because it would be more complex, I felt, than single malt because a blended Scotch is a blend of different single malts. So in theory, you've got more going on in a blend than you do most of the time in a single malt. And being that a single malt is just a single malting from a single Scotch distillery, and a blend is
Mhm.
a blend of different single malts, like I said, in theory, you have more going on. So there's more complexity usually in a blend than there is
In
in
a
a single
blend.
malt. Yep.
And that's what all Johnny Walkers are blended, right?
Yeah, all Johnny Walkers are. Johnny Walker originally started off as a teetotaler. He had
What's that?
his parents, so he
Oh,
didn't drink alcohol.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, he manned his parents' grocery store, which was at the Port of Call in Scotland, and they were very big tea blenders. So they would
Mm.
blend all the teas up for people coming into port to take out, and on their voyages and stuff like that. And they originally started purchasing whiskey, and he would just create blends of whiskey. And the story goes, at least the romanticized story, I don't know how true it is, of course, but it originally
Yeah.
started off as they were blending scotches the same way that they were blending teas that they found locally, and they created a Johnny Walker expression of Scotch whiskey. And then his sons took over the business, and they in turn created the square bottling. And the reason
Hmm.
for the square Johnny Walker bottle was so that you could stack them on a ship and they wouldn't roll around as the ship was
Ah,
traveling.
that's cool.
Mhm.
Mike, I gotta say, man, I'm so fucking glad you're around because you like when it comes to this alcohol shit, you a wealth of fucking knowledge, dude. Like this is the
Dude,
shit that I sit back on YouTube and watch, man. Like I fucking love that you can do that shit off the top of your head, man.
dude,
I'm
yeah.
Yeah.
dead ass. That shit is dope as fuck to me.
Yeah, I remember one like the very first episodes of Master Your Ash, he was talking about the Whiskey Rebellion, like giving a
Yeah.
history lesson of the Whiskey Rebellion. It's like this is something you never hear on like any cigar channel, you know. It's
Yeah, I mean,
you
we
get
got
a
like a
history lesson.
it's like A&E, like all the time, dude. I fucking love this shit.
Hmm.
Uh, well, I'm glad to do it. I mean, that's always been the ethos of the channel, and it's always
Mm,
been my passion to share the stories and not just the romanticized marketing gimmicks, because there's plenty of those in the alcohol industry, just like there's plenty of them in the cigar industry.
oh, without a
But
doubt,
Hmm.
without a doubt.
there's a reason for things, right? And it's always fun to hear those stories, and I've been very fortunate in my career too, because of the fact that I got to go to, Hennessy, and I got to see the parody and the sellers, and talk to them specifically about, like, when you see a sleeve of barrels and they're marked from like the 30s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and you're just like, hey, why isn't there anything in like the mid to late 40s? And they talk about World War II, and about, you know, the Germans coming in and making sure that, you know, they kicked up all the cognac to, you know, the Third Reich and everything, and just the history, man, alone in it is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, all the stories and all the history. I think like you get hints of Dr. Joe, like watching Michael's channel. Karen, that's all you. That's all you, Michael. And Keelan, you could take a stab at it too.
I got one too, but it's not gonna be what everybody expects. But go, I'm gonna let Mike do this because mine is completely different from what y'all would expect. So I was gonna do a show on it and I never got around to it. Go ahead, Mike.
Sure.
I mean, I really enjoy, in the non-elk sector, I really enjoy the Coke coffees that are out there by Coca-Cola.
Really?
I think that, yeah, I think that I think it's delicious, and they have all different flavors. You know, they have zero sugar. They have mocha, they have vanilla, they have caramel, and they're slowly coming out into other markets. I know that there was some supply chain issues because they kind of launched it right at the beginning of 2022. Oh, we got DJ coming in. Let me add him.
A little sidebar to that. That's popular in Japan because they love Coke for one, and they love kohi. They love coffee. So those things are killing it out here, especially in Tokyo, man. Or like you go further north into into Sendai and all that. They fucking love those, man. Anyway, little sidebar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
DJ, I mean, what up?
Oh, hold on. I think let's see here. You good, DJ?
Hey, give me a second. I gotta get my headphones up.
Okay, we'll put them in the back right now. You just chime in whenever you need to, DJ. Yeah, so like I really enjoy in like the non-alc stuff, pairing the Coca-Cola coffees. I think that those are delicious. And then for alcohol wise, I mean, I've obviously been doing a decent amount of beer. As we move into like the full-fledged winter, I want to do a Brandy Alexander pairing so bad. It was something that I talked about earlier in the year, and I think that that's a very like underserved cocktail in the cocktail community right now, and I really want to pick a good cigar and pair that with it. But I mean, I have fun with everything, you know, like doesn't matter if it's a cocktail, if it's a base spirit of some kind, like, you know, if I can find a cigar that makes sense to pair it, I'll pair it. You know, like that's just it. Whatever strikes my fancy, you'll see me put it on the channel eventually. That's it.
Yeah.
What's this? It's cranberry juice. And everybody's like, dude, for real, cranberry juice? What is fucking, you got a UTI or something like that? But the first time I brought it up to Ron Real like a while ago. It was a while ago. And dude looked at me like I had four heads. Like he was like, I could feel it through the text. And like, he was like, dude, what are you talking about? But I'm just like, no, man, trust me. And I've been trying to rant and rave to people about it. Like, yo, get some cranberry juice. It brightens up your cigar. If there's any kind of sweetness in there, it just makes your cigar just kind of blow up and like you taste it all over your palate. And everybody thought I was crazy. So then I'm watching, I don't know what the guy's name. He does, he's with Boveda, and he does like a lot of the different, you know, cigar reviews with Boveda. He, you know, wears glasses, has a beard.
Yeah.
That cat. And he was doing a show on it, and he was talking about how
you in, DJ?
Just kind of it.
I'm good.
My man. It kind of like opens up like the like the receptors on your tongue. The acids kind of makes everything open up, and you just taste more from it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I knew I wasn't crazy, man. So like, if I can get like, you know, a real cranberry juice or pomegranate juice, and I can have it with a good cigar, especially if it has like some cream to it, or like a sweetness, like that brown sugar or syrup in it. I mean, it's like fireworks. And I'm not insane. Trust me. Like it really does change the flavor. It really does open up everything in your palate. And that's my go-to. And I was like, I knew it had to be some science behind it.
Yeah, because like it has a way of like it's astringent on the palate because it's bittersweet, but it has that bitter aftertaste. So that bitter aftertaste is probably like the you know, this citric acid or whatever kind of opening it up the pores maybe.
Just opens up everything, man. it blends together, it works together so perfectly. And I was just like, holy shit. Like I just took a swig one time in the pool and I was like, whoa, what did I just do? So
Yeah.
trust me, guys, I know everybody's into, getting their bourbons and your barrel age and the whole nine. Just go to your store, get some cranberry juice and some pomegranate. Get you an ocean spray, yo. Trust me, it works, yo.
I'll give that a try, man. Especially with Thanksgiving coming up.
Yes, sir.
I can respect that. I can respect the non-chill filtered higher ABV Scotch. I feel like that brings up a really good point too. Alcohol by volume is a very big deal when it comes to pairings, right? So what he's talking about when he says non-chill filtered, for those that are uninitiated, a lot of whiskeys go through a chill filtration process. And what that does is it removes some of the fatty lipids that are inside of the finished distillation and maturation from all the hemicellulose in the barrel aging, or in the actual the barrel aging. So sometimes if you grab a whiskey bottle that's been sitting on the shelf in the light for a little while, you'll see some of these fatty lipid compounds like floating around in it. And chill filtration was brought in to chill the whiskey down, to remove some of those lipids without altering the flavor too much. But what a lot of people do is they seek out these higher ABV single barrel expressions that haven't been chill filtered, because those lipids do add some texture and some flavor, right? So I brought this up, or I wanted to talk about this because of the fact that, yes, if you can get a single malt Scotch that is higher ABV than the standard, 40% alcohol by volume, 43% alcohol by volume, there's going to be a lot of complexity and a lot of flavor to it. You're 100%. I 100% agree with you on that.
This is some Bill Nye shit, man. This is dope. But this is also the same thing in the culinary field. Like if you're making a consomme, or if you're doing, tonkatsu, like you can chill it so it's easier to skim and all that. You can clarify just about everything that way. But once again, like you're saying, when you take out the fats, you're taking out the flavor. That's what the fat is for. Whether it's with beef, whether it's with pork, whether it's in your stocks or any of that. That's where all your flavor is coming from. I just learned something. I had no idea that was a thing when it came to the alcohol too. That's dope as fuck.
Oh yeah, specifically everything that's been barrel aged, because after distillation, you throw it into a barrel, you're going to mature it for a little while, and it's pulling that hemicellulose and having that interaction with the barrel, so that you get all of those nice compounds and esters from the wood, right?
This is a science.
I bet you the higher ABV single malts are a little bit more pricey too, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, sorry. I'll keep that on. I know that EKB was looking at the chat. I'm sorry. I know you guys are on phones.
Okay, and I got it. I caught it. Thank you, man.
Cool.
DJ, what you got in hand, brother?
Yeah, DJ, talk to us, man. I'm throwing up the comments as they come across. Love the idea of the cranberry.
Oktoberfest 10-year.
The Uber.
I figured it's like one of the last days of October. I'd rather smoke it now than wait a year.
Yeah, good call.
Well.
Good call on that. I feel like I'm out of the loop, man. I didn't get any of the Oktoberfest. I didn't get any like pumpkin spice cigars or nothing like that, man. I'm lame.
Thank you, sir. I'm
what is that on the hat, man? What you got on the hat? Is that Harley Davidson? I can't see what the hat is, man. Is that Harley?
Nah, that's my hat.
Yeah, my man.
Wow.
Dopeness.
Dude, DJ. So your camera has tracking? How's that working?
That's the iPhone.
That's sick.
It's called what is this mode?
Continuity.
Yeah, well, it's continuity camera, and then it has like mode, so I could take it off portrait, so you guys don't see the background. It's weird, man.
Talk about Bill Nye shit.
That looks dope.
I want to hate on that shit so bad because I hate Apple, but that's dope as hell, dude. I can't even say shit. That's dope.
I'm like, Apple does nothing cool. I'm like, well, this is pretty
dope.
nice.
I would have hate so bad. That's so clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks sick, man.
When I was beta testing it on like the beta updates for the new OS, I was like, man, this is weird. Like when you put it in desk mode, it would like just show you.
Yeah.
And they were like still updating it. I haven't tried it since like the public release came out.
Yeah.
Desk mode is weird, man. That's weird, wizardry. You point a camera at the ground and it sees it from the top down. It's weird.
That's clean.
Yeah,
though.
you'll like have your camera up here, and like this is
Yeah.
the little pop socket that I use to attach it onto like the top of my laptop and just like hold it into place because I don't have a mount. But like if you put it on top of your laptop and just hold it there, it'll like shoot down in front of you.
Weird. It's weird,
It's
man.
insane.
I saw Marcus Brownlee talking about it. MKBHD. I saw him talking about that shit. And I was like, that's some clean ass technology, bro. That shit is clean.
It's crazy.
That is nuts.
But DJ, your set been looking super dope, man. Like I see you kind of playing with the different angles and shit lately, man. It's looking good, man.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm messing with it. It feels like I hardly shot as many videos as I wanted to after changing it for this past year, but it's pretty cool. I keep trying new things. It's messed me up 2 times. One is the video that's coming out Monday. I recorded for an hour with the microphone turned off, which is
yeah.
I was messing
There's
with
no going back after that, bro.
No, I was
like,
just
fuck
like,
it, just keep rolling.
we're gonna get creative and figure this shit out because I ain't doing this again.
Be right back.
Dude, yeah, the thing is, if you did that with any other cigar, that's the entire review.
Yeah.
Like the review's gone. But luckily you did it with the right cigar to where you still had plenty left.
Yeah, what messed me up is so I shot a review the day before, but I used a lav mic, so I didn't even think to check. I just pushed go because I'm like, yeah, I'm mic'd up, good to go. And then I switched back to my boom, and I'm like, yeah, of course it's gonna be fine. Why even worry about it being on? It turns on as long as it senses a camera is connected to it. So I'm like, no big deal. And then it has a little red light on the back that says, hey, charge me. But I put that Cigar Hound Dog sticker over it, so you couldn't see the light anymore.
Dude, I fucked you. I fucked you up.
It was a good bit when I did it that video, and then after that I'm like, oh, it's time to come off for a little while.
I did that before, man. I had to re-edit the whole video, so I took all the audio out of that shit, and then I just basically dubbed over it and just kind of cut the clips of me smoking. That was the only thing I could do. I said that's the only way I'm gonna save this fucking video. Man.
That's what I do.
That was a boss for us, huh?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not doing this shit again. It's fuck it. I'm just gonna have to go.
Yeah.
I had to do some patchwork.
Nope. It still worked out, man.
No, it actually came out. Actually, I might do the videos like that on purpose later on. Matter of fact, I got another one I'm gonna do like that soon.
Yeah.
I got that. I finally smoked that fucking Placencia Year of the Tiger, man. I just haven't been able to record anything for it other than the actual, smoking the cigar.
Dude, I'm so sad about your experience, man. Like my hopes were so high for it. Like
I know,
because dude, it's a $40 cigar.
Right.
No $40 cigar should have any construction issues whatsoever.
That stem was fucking massive. I pulled a branch out of that fucking, like, as soon as I was like getting in the last third, as soon as I pulled that bitch out, like the drawer opened up and I was like, this is a whole new cigar, but I'm at the end of it.
You're at the end,
all the good shit. Yeah, I missed the heart of the cigar. That's the best part. But it's all good. But I mean, it wasn't like it was horrible. I didn't have the worst experience, but I felt like I was smoking like a Cuban that you really couldn't get a draw out of it. I was like, fuck, man, I know it's more than this cigar. I know it's more than what I'm getting right now.
Yeah, that's
it happens, man. Nah, that's sometimes it's the luck of the draw with these cigars, man. First cigar you fell in love with. I'll let y'all go because y'all know what my answer is. So y'all go ahead.
Michael, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've talked about it before. I'm sure that it's probably going to be a reoccurring thing for, the live streams. But I would say that it was definitely the Fuente short story for me.
Yeah.
Dope ass cigar.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like that was the first cigar to where I really understood. Like we talked about this before, like you said, where I really understood like this is why people like cigars. This is why people are into the hobby. I think the first cigar that I really fell in love with, though, that's so hard. Because like for one, I'm thinking about such a long time ago. You know, dude, do you want to go, DJ? 'Cause I
Yeah,
gotta think, man.
mine's the Brickhouse Double Connecticut. It'll always be that cigar, no matter how bitter I get.
No, Rick has to do it though. But
Yeah.
y'all know for me, man, it's gonna be that Fuente Shark, man. That Don Carlos. That shit. I had many cigars that I enjoyed. I had many cigars that I was kicking back with and like, okay, I dig this whole hobby. I'm gonna be doing this for a long fucking time. But when I got that shark in the hand and it tasted like it looked and it was even better, and then just like the way all the notes just went together, the way that cigar burned, the way it felt in hand, man, it was nothing like it. I still haven't had anything that can top it. Haven't had anything
Yeah.
close.
It's an incredible cigar, dude.
That's
Like
man.
they're hard to find, and you're always going to be paying over MSRP, just like any other special Fuente. But
Yep.
it's worth it, dude. In my opinion, as long as you're not paying $100 a fucking cigar, like I've seen some places charge for Fuentes, it's worth it.
I will pay $30 for that cigar every fucking time, and I don't feel a way about it. I don't stress it. I don't care. I don't care. That's
Yeah.
one cigar that I will pay for, and if it's a special occasion, I'm bringing that bad boy out. That's my go-to. I love that damn thing.
I think like I've been thinking in the back of my head. I think the first cigar, like early on in the hobby, that I really fell in love with, I think it was the Padilla 1932. Back
Ooh.
back when Padilla was still working with my father, like that cigar. And I know DJ, you hate torpedoes, but that cigar, it came in like just this beautiful Bellicoso. I think that may have been like the first cigar. I was like, holy shit. And like, I was like 21. I had no money. I couldn't buy a box. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't like get as many as I wanted. But that cigar was like the first cigar I was like, this is fucking incredible. And yeah, like of course Padilla like stopped working with my father soon after that. Yeah.
And you can't get that again. That's the shit that sucks when it's like a limited edition or like they change factories or whatever. Like that cigar is gone. And if you don't have it like stocked up, it's like it's a wrap, man. It's gone.
Yep. That's probably what's happening with that's probably what's happening with the Osgoner.
Man, don't do me like that, man. Just thinking about that with Osgoner and anything Crown Heads, like, because I think when it comes to the end of the year, when I start talking this end of the year stuff, I think Crown Heads is really going to be at the top of my list. It's like going to be killing everybody this year. That's kind of what I'm leaning to.
They are the manufacturer of the year. If you have like a best manufacturer of the year list, in my opinion, like I have more favorite cigars, like from other manufacturers, but as a whole, the quality of cigars that they put out is unmatched, like one after the other.
That's what I'm saying, and we're on the same page. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So if anything changes with that, man, it's gonna hurt my heart, dude. It really is, because they killed it this year. They absolutely killed it.
Yeah. And Matt Rodriguez asked, have any of us smoked the Year of the Ox, the Placencia Year of the Ox? No. That one's like a big figurado, I think. And I know they're available on COH. But I haven't pulled the trigger on them. It's hard to spend that much money for a box of 8 cigars.
Yeah, and it's hard to get those out here, like in Japan. So I haven't had a chance to get that one. So I haven't reviewed that.
Yeah. Would love to try it though.
Damn straight. All right, super random. My homeboy, my man Ed, he does not like Connecticut's. He really doesn't mess with Fuente. anything that's like lighter, he's like on the darker cigar end. He likes um the 10, the Undercrown 10. That's like his lane.
Okay.
When it comes to dark cigars, like when you got the heavier, deeper Maduros, what's your go-tos with the Maduros? What are you guys smoking on like that? Like if you want a heavier cigar, what are you going for?
DJ just had one.
I did. That one was really good. The Olmec?
The Undercrown? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was.
I'm seeing everybody talking about it. Anybody that's smoking that cigar is like, that shit is fire. I gotta get it soon.
It's good. I'm not a huge fan of dark, earthy Maduros, especially if it's just leather and earth. That's like the least favorite cigar I have.
Yeah, well, that's saying something coming. That's saying something coming for you, DJ, because you're not typically a Maduro guy. You really like that cigar.
No, it was solid. It was really nice cigar. I was surprised at how much I liked it as soon as I lit it up.
I think La Galera is
taking a
killing it
look
with the
at-
darker cigars. LFDs are really killing it with some of their Maduros. Are like fantastic. That Undercrown 10, I've been talking about that for a year, so that kind of goes without saying. That shit is outstanding too.
Yeah, I think last year when that got like the unanimous kind of ranking between all of the major, the cigar journals, the dojos, the half wheels, I think that was well deserved because
it wasn't hype, man.
It was definitely not hype. We had a Drew Estate event because we did Sticks and Kicks Volume 2 at one of the local cigar lounges here on the Strip in Vegas this past Wednesday, and I smoked the UC10.
Yeah.
Fantastic stick.
What size do you prefer?
Oh yeah.
For
me personally, I like the Lonsdale. The factory. What is it? Factory something. The Lonsdale. That shit is perfect, man. That Lonsdale is money.
I've only had the Toro so far of the 10, but I remember because I know people talking about the regular Undercrown, always talking about what's a Corona? It has a unique name.
I can't think of. I'm drawing a blank, bro.
It's like Viva Corona. Is it something like that?
That's the one I reviewed actually. Yeah, and that thing was good too. Like I loved it. But that factory, that shit is
the Lonsdale one you
good.
like.
Man, that shit is so fucking good.
I know, like when I hear people talk about the original Undercrown, the Viva Corona, people always talk about. I really like the Robusto. I think it's a 5x54, just a little chunky Robusto. That was a damn good cigar. But I've only had, like I said, for the 10, I've only had the Toro so far.
That fucking La Galera Anamoy, that shit is fire too.
Yeah, that's a good stick.
It's a beast of a cigar, man. It's a beast of a fucking cigar. But yeah, it's
no doubt
good.
about it.
But I'm gonna sound like a prick for saying this, but like when it comes to like those really dark, deep, robust Maduro flavors, so my favorite of recent months has been the birthday blend, the gold, and that's like, it's because it's hard to find and like you can't really find it anywhere right now. But that is a fantastic cigar, and I've had more so-so Viajes than I have had good Viajes, but that Viaje for a Maduro is incredible.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh.
I will trust your palate on that.
Yeah.
You know who does a really good one too is I had to look that back up in my notes, but the Roma Craft Neanderthal, that's a solid Maduro as well.
That's the orange band, right?
That's the orange band.
I never got that cigar, man. When everybody was talking about it, I never got it.
And it's kind of like a flathead, kind of like a flathead too. Like the shape of it, not the profile. But
it kind of looks like a club, right?
Yeah. And it's I remember having it like back when we were doing Cigar Memoir, we got some for review like before it was released. and it was kind of like the chapter one, the LFD chapter one, where it's just all these like it's very nuanced for a Maduro. Like nothing really stands out like a ton by itself. Just everything just kind of culminates like in a cauldron, just so well. It was experiential. It was a very experiential cigar because it was you know, it had a very unique profile, but it's hard to discern exactly what's in it for me, anyways. And it's been years since I've smoked one, but I remember having a good experience with that cigar. And I remember like people are saying, "Oh, this is the strongest cigar ever. It's gonna knock you on your ass." I didn't really think so, you know.
There's no double Ligero for sure. One thing, like I find it interesting with Romacraft because like what was it like 2019, 2020? They were like everything was like some form of Romacraft. Everybody was smoking Romacraft. Like a lot of the reviewers that were on YouTube at the time were like going ham with Romacraft. And now it's like you don't even hear about Romacraft much anymore. They just kind of like faded into the background. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because yeah, you're right. Because they used to be like super hot.
They were everywhere for a period, and now it's like people barely even talk about it. You might find them on like Cigar Bid or something like that for the most part, but also like people reviewing them, people smoking them on a regular basis. You don't see it nearly as much. Year of the Rabbit.
The rabbit. Oh man, pre-order. Whoo! You have to be running to get those. Thanks for the heads up, Anthony.
Yeah, man.
Spent too much damn money on cigars this last month.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to get a Placencia sign behind you, Matt. Like just
yeah, for sure.
Dude,
that shit got to glow.
It's like an open sign. Open for Placencia.
You got to get the Edison bulbs on that shit, dude. You got a huge Placencia sign.
Dude, yeah. I mean, like that's the thing. Like, I used to think they were just whatever cigars. Like they're solid, but like once was the one that really turned my opinion around. I think it was the Almedo Campo, the one with the gray band. Once I had that, I was like, okay, this is really good. This is really damn good. And then Michael, he because of his year best of the year. The last year video talking about the Almafuerte 601. And I was like, okay, so I gave that a try. And first, I said this in my review of the other sides of the Almafuerte. That was the best 660 I've ever had. That cigar is for a 660 is absolutely phenomenal. Just lit an Ave Maria Dark Knight. Nice.
I can't lie. I dodged those, man. I'm like stuck in those, so I can't add to that at all. I have no idea.
Yeah. Heritage Sticks are spinning game.
Eric, do you mean like the Montes and the Ligorias and the Heritage brands from Cuba?
If what he's talking about, like when it comes to like the Montes now, like once they got Nadal on and like the shit that they're putting out recently, they're stepping their game up for sure. It's a different world.
The master blenders too, the maestros, the community of master blenders that they assembled too for General Altitas really helped kind of elevate what they were putting out for sure.
I think we were saying this before, but the whole thing is like these boutique brands was fucking them up. So like you had to step your game up, It's like it's no way that you could just throw out a bunch of cigars that that can go in mass production and you don't really care what they taste like anymore. You can't do that anymore. When you got Nick Melillo out here blending crazy and Sebastian blending like crazy, Dunbarton blending like you can't play around just throwing out whatever type of cigars. You can get 8 alive. There's too many damn, good blenders out here right now. You can't play around.
Like, what was the one? I just had the La Gloria Cubana 8th Street. That's the one that they had rolled at El Titon de Bronze. Ashton Sherman. It sucked. It was not a good cigar. It's kind of like the Cohiba Serie M, like how that cigar, like that was like the first Cohiba to be made at El Titan de Bronze. It just wasn't good. It just lacked flavor, just too peppery. It just wasn't overall. It just wasn't a good cigar. Which sucks because you think El Titan de Bronze, you think, oh, this is gonna be freaking good. Because a lot of the Goldies are rolled there. I could be wrong about that, but a lot of the La Plinas are rolled there. The Warps rolled there. Like really specialty cigars are rolled there. But just those two in particular, like general cigars made at El Titan, not good.
I thought I was tripping, man. I thought I was tripping. I thought that was because they were really promoting that cigar. They were putting it out there like, hey, this is a new thing for Cohiba. We really stepping it up. And I was like, was I missing something? Maybe I just didn't have a good cigar. So I got another one that's down there that I was going to smoke again to see if I was tripping. I didn't even do a review on it because I was like,
I heard because they came out with the Toro last year. They came out with the Corona Gorda this year, 6x48. My friend, this is off of one source, but my friend said that the Corona Gorda is a lot better. So the release that they had for this year. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like like in California, if I'm going to go down to my shop, it's going to be like $45. And because of my experience I had with the other one, I'm not going to shell out that kind of money, No.
Not going to be able to do it.
Mm-mm.
No way.
Yeah,
what's that new thing from Nate Sherman, like a Fiero Tego or whatever that shit is? Like I was so mad at that fucking cigar. Yeah, man, I was so. That's another one. Like when it comes to like those timeless and anything like Nat Sherman, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll get that to somebody else. That's me though. Like,
yeah. But I know that Eric, you said Ashton as well, along with Nat Sherman. Ashton. I love Ashton. Yeah,
Ashton, I can go. Ashton, I can fuck with.
They're fun. They're Fuentes. They're all they're all made at Fuentes factory. Like the VSG. Fuck, man, that Eclipse I had a couple months ago or a month ago, that thing was amazing. Incredible cigar
fire too. Incredible. Yeah. The symmetry, fire. Like those fire.
The symmetry is really underrated. Like, and I hear a lot of people saying like, not the best things about that cigar, but I've had a few. I haven't had a lot, but I've had like 3 or 4. All of them have been fantastic.
I don't know who's underrating that cigar. That shit is money to me, bro. I fuck with it. And everybody I know that smoke them fuck with it. Like that's a good cigar, man. It's a damn good cigar.
And Ashton does not make a bad cigar because they're all made by Fuente.
And they take their time with those cigars too. They don't just come out like all the time. It's like when they make a cigar, they've taken their time, they blended it, and it's on fire every time.
Yeah. They're not the type to just come out with a cigar every year just to have something new every year. Like they stick to what they know. That's making damn good cigars. And if they come out with a new blend, you're really, really excited because it doesn't happen all that often.
Facts. How you digging that Oktoberfest, man?
It's doing pretty good. It's reminding me a lot of the Seio Flathead as far as flavors go.
No, I'm not mad at that at all. That's good shit to me.
It's a lot of cigar, but it's good.
Yeah. Dude, I was feel free to not answer this, DJ, because I know you have the review coming up soon. But I was wondering, because we were talking about cutters before, I was wondering how the fuck did you cut that Asylum cigar? You don't have to. Okay, that should be fun. That should be fun on camera to see.
That's a knife. You went Crocodile Dundee on that motherfucker.
I should have punched it and done 2 punches because I cut the actual cap off. I had to open up my mouth the entire way to get it in. And man, my TMJ was screaming at the end. The next day, it was so bad. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've done.
Dude, yeah. That thing is a beast, like to say the least.
It's a good cigar for the first like 2.5 hours, and then it starts to drop. And that last hour, you're like, man, it'd be cool if this tasted a little different. But everything goes out, and it's just straight up strength at the end, and it's not super strong. It's strong, and it's a lot. So like at that point, you're like, this is 3.5 hours smoking this damn cigar. I want to be done.
Well, and it's like if you hear anybody say for the first 2.5 hours that cigar was good, like you cannot say that about any other cigar other than the Roma Craft Femur. You can't say that about any other cigar.
Yeah.
You know,
again,
that's absurd.
It's a tasty number, and then slowly it just dies down because I mean, of course, it's going to. And then
you got 2 fucking hours out of that cigar. You can't be mad regardless. That's a long
good hours.
time.
Good hours. Yeah.
Right.
God, there was a moment where at the first hour when I checked my camera and nothing was good, I was like, damn. I guess I'll tell people it was good because you don't get any of the nothing. It's just all silent. So it's just a voiceover for me answering the questions. That's what also was annoying is I was answering all the ask me anything questions. So like they're long-winded answers that I have no idea what the hell I said. So then I'm trying to like remember, and I'm like, I think this was it.
Dude. Oh man. That is so funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Matt, you and Mike, you guys need to do an Ask Me Anything, man. That'll be a pretty good watch, man. You know, from your viewers to ask you questions. Especially when it comes to the pairing and the whole nine, or just kind of going back into your catalog, all the different cigars that you smoke. That'll be a good watch.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fun. Yeah, I mean, why not pose like Cal DJ did on his community tab on his YouTube channel. Just be like, hey, have this idea for the future for a future video. If you have any questions, ask.
I can't even do that shit. Nobody asks me shit. Like every time I do that, I can get like 1 or 2 questions, and it's like,
what are we gonna do? Like, come on, yeah.
Yeah, I had one. I think he asked me like 6 in one question, and he's like, "You don't have to answer any of these." I'm like, "I'm gonna answer all of them because it looks like I got more questions, man. Like I'll ask every single question."
Yeah.
And you had the time. You had the fucking time with that cigar.
Damn straight you did.
Yeah.
What do you think of the brick house?
It's parching on the palate. Like the overall profile is just slightly dry. But then once I got past the end of the first third, it started getting sweet, like a maple syrupy sweetness that I liked. And now it's just kind of tapering back down to where it was at the beginning, where it's just kind of mostly dry, and you know, it's okay, but it's not like wowing me right now.
Yeah.
This is my first brick house. This is the first and only brick house I've ever had.
That's wild to me, dude.
Yeah, you should smoke the Habano and realize how close it is to that. I don't think they changed much. I mean,
maybe just the pigtail cap.
It looks like just like the wrapper.
Yeah,
make it look pretty.
I don't think that I've tried very many brick houses in my time. You know, that was something that I remember the old forum cigarpass.com when I was on there, like the guys were really into that when they first came out, you know, because it's a heritage brand with JC and all that stuff, right? So like they were really into it and talking about them tremendously, but it was this weird time where I was probably only smoking like a cigar every 3 or 4 months at that. Yeah. So like I really had only done maybe 3 or 4 cigars that year or two. You know, there was like a good 2 or 3 year window where I kind of took a step back from it for a little while just because of life and moving around, not having really like the time or whatever I was doing. So I remember that was one of the weighing factors on that. And another thing too is that a lot of my local shops, like they're a little bit harder to find than some of the other ones. But,
interesting.
Yeah.
So when did you guys make that jump? When did you go from like maybe having 1 or 2 cigars a month or something like that to like actually kind of smoking more on a regular basis? When did you make that jump?
When I started
You
the
guys want to
channel,
go?
Yeah, mine too. When I started doing I Want the Smoke, that's when I really started ramping it up.
yeah, yeah. It's like, how can I produce more content? Smoke more. It's,
Right.
like you can't like you just, especially with YouTube, it's a monster that is never not hungry. So you got to keep pumping content into it, and it is
For
the
sure,
more you
for
push
sure.
into it, the more you'll grow. That's like the
Yeah.
basic format. Casey Neistat declared that back in like 2014. He was the first person to start posting daily and fucking skyrocketed, and that's never
Mhm.
changed. The more you put into
Yeah.
it, the more YouTube gives you attention. That's just how it is. But also, I'm like, I can't smoke enough cigars to post one a day, not financially, especially when I was buying them like just for the month, and then just time. Like this isn't
Yeah.
like if you're reviewing a piece of tech, you can like play with it for a week and then shoot a 20-minute video. But like this is sitting down for at least an hour most of the time,
At
and that's
least an
not
hour.
counting editing. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and that's no research, no script, no nothing. Like it's just
Yeah.
a lot of time.
It's also hard too because you're trying to condense down a 1.5, 2 hour experience into something that's palatable for attention spans that you may only be able to grab for 4 or 5 minutes,
Yeah,
at the very most. So it's about, because I know that I struggle with this a lot, is like if I'm doing a pairing, right? I want to talk about the pairing and I want to do the due diligence to add in those fun little mentions about like why the alcohol makes sense or why the pairing makes sense. And it's like there's a lot of times where I'm trying to condense that into just 2 minutes of the 7 to 8 minute video, and try to pick out the very best parts of it so that it's worth the time of somebody viewing it, right? And I think that going back to the initial question about like when it was for me, so for me the biggest jump was when I found my first like local tobacco shop that I would go to and sit at in the lounge. It was the first time that I was ever unemployed for like more than 2 weeks. And I would just go there every single day to enhance my resume, send it out, look for jobs and stuff like that, and smoke a cigar. So it was like every single day for an hour, I'd go down there, I'd work on my computer, I'd work on the resume, I'd check the job hunt, and see where, what would be my next venture, right?
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I was ever smoking like daily or every couple of days. And I was like, oh, wow, I really like this. I like the interactions. I like meeting with everybody and talking to them and seeing like what their background is and stuff. And then it was just about being able to find a place that was conducive for me to do it because I was usually renting. So up until I bought my first house, I didn't have a spot outside of a local tobacco shop that I could just smoke at every single day that was convenient,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was probably like 6 months into the hobby or so, where like I also got a membership at a local lounge when I was still living in Corona. And then I felt like, paying that 35, $40 a month or whatever, I felt obligated to, to use that membership. So
Hell
then
yeah.
then I started smoking like once a week. And then like probably like a year or two after that, I got out of it just because I don't know why, just something to do with like my work situation. I don't exactly remember why. But it was probably like another year. I just did it very, very seldom, like once every 3 months or so. But it was when I had the Flor de las Antillas when that came out in 2012, and got Cigar of the Year that year. I tried it and I was like, this is fucking incredible. This is a beautiful cigar. And that
At that
experience right
price
there,
too?
yeah, it was like a $758 stick for a
Oh
very
yes,
damn
sir.
good cigar. And it like that right there kind of reinvigorated my love for the hobby. And it's
Facts.
been it's been consistent ever since. All right, Michael, you took down the question that I think only one of us here can answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DJ
Right, I gotta
answered
do it
it
over here.
in
Yeah,
the
Okay, okay,
comments. This is
okay,
DJ's
okay, okay,
answer. So
okay, okay.
he's got that bad boy coming out.
He's
Monday.
he's yeah.
Well,
Fuck, dude, I
I,
can't wait.
I
I'll
gotta
check for
review
that.
the footage one more time because it's a 40-minute video. I'm like, oh. I think I've sat through it twice already, and I'm like, one more time before it actually goes out live.
That's a documentary, bro.
Yeah.
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 One
That's
one
like
of the questions was about channels that have basically I don't like, and I'm like, yeah, I'll answer it to an extent. Like, I don't want to start any shit, but I'm also not going to be one of those people who keeps alluding to things because those bug the
Right,
hell out of
right,
me most.
right.
We know
No
about
sneak
that.
dissing. No sneak
we,
dissing.
That's all
we
people
know.
do. They're like, well, I'm not going to say any names, but let me highly imply this exact personality type. I'm like, no, I'll just say their name. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that
Yeah.
Well,
point,
he looks like this. He got a bald head, and when he talk,
I'm like, okay, like what's just take that last step. Just you're standing right,
right.
you're
Yeah,
right
just say the
there.
name.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was Monday. Monday is when that video will come out.
Can't wait, dude.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready for it. I need a new
Yeah.
documentary to watch anyway.
Yeah.
That's that's
Keelan, you asked us a question about when we like consistently got into cigars. You said when you started your channel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it was a little bit before that because when I was living in Fresno, it was kind of similar to what Mike was saying. It's kind of like I actually found lounges that I could go to, and honestly,
Yeah.
in Fresno, it ain't shit to do. It's nothing there. So
Yeah.
my thing was I was digging cigars, so I was like, let me just go to these lounges, and I actually started chopping it up with these cats in there and just kind of hanging back. And I got that flathead that I really enjoyed for a while. I was like, okay, this is fun. This is actually fun to do, but it didn't really get serious until I started doing I Want the Smoke. And the whole concept behind that series was like just finding the cigars that I like. Because when I would go into the cigar lounges, I was just digging around in the humidors like I don't know anything about this particular brand or that brand. Let me just grab the cigar
Yeah.
and smoke it and see what I think about it. So I was like, why don't I make that into a show? Just kind of like going and I was trying to do like the Dr. Joe thing. Like I want to do a deep dive into these cigars, give a little bit of the history behind it and how I found it. And that was like a
Yeah.
long form show. Like I don't like when I see people like going back into like this whole time when I'm not reviewing right now, I haven't had the time to review. Mad people are going back and they're watching my shows, but they don't watch I Want the Smoke. And I think it's because it was such a long form show. It was
Okay.
10, 15, 20 minutes. And people don't have the attention span for that. If you're not doing 5 and maybe 8 minutes max, people just parachute out of your show. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I get those comments all the time. They're like, just get to the point. I'm like, no, that's other channels. You're on the wrong
right,
place. Go somewhere else.
right, man. I'm like this is it's so much to these cigars. When you think about like how Mike was talking about just the history of all these different whiskeys and bourbons and things like that, how they make the bottles. That's the dope shit. How you make the sausage with these cigars is what makes it fun. Learning about the different leaves and the blends and the history of these heritage blends and these newcomers that are coming in with these boutiques. Why wouldn't you want to talk about that and hear about that if you love cigars?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more than just like what it tastes like.
Absolutely. And what's going on, Rick Anderson? Good to see you,
What up,
bro.
dog?
I'm glad that you're able to join us.
I got to parachute out of here in a few minutes, fellas. I got Japanese class today, man. I got to get these rug rats going. So
All right.
Dude.
I got a
All
short
good,
time. I'm a
man.
short time of the day, man.
All good,
But
man.
I was waiting for this, man. This is my highlight right now. Like I spent all day like on these docks and waiting for these military COs all day long, or I'm working in that gym. This is my highlight, just being able to kick back with a cigar.
Good, man.
That's cool, dude. How's the tobacco now? How'd that finish up?
No, that was good, man. One thing about it, it was pretty much the same thing all the way through. It didn't change too much, but that was actually a good thing. I'm cool with cigars that are like that. If it tastes good from beginning to end, I'm with it. It doesn't have to have like a change every third or anything like that. Just make it taste good, make it smoke good, and that thing burned perfectly all the way down to the nub. So I like
Awesome.
that cigar, man. That was damn good.
Awesome.
Who's that right there? Fume guy. What up, though?
Casa Fernandez, nice, dude. An old one too.
That's good shit right
That's
there. I've
good
only
stuff.
had one. I've only had one, and I enjoyed that cigar. I actually got that as a gift. I've only had one.
Yeah, those used to be phenomenal. The old Casa Fernandez stuff, like the Arsenio. That was such a good. The Arsenio Maduro was such a damn good cigar. Like a box press, like it was so freaking tasty. But yeah, they just like Tab said, they just started taking on too many other clients, like Warped and like too much other production, and so their quality control just kind of took a dump because of that.
It happens, man. It happens. That's the nature of biz.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like a really good box press lately has been. I don't think people really put enough into a good box press. Just the way that it feels the hand. Like everybody was complaining, like they don't smoke really well. I'm like, I don't get that, man. They smoke great for me. They don't burn weird for me. A lot of people complain about it. I dig like Aroa. Like their box presses are money. Like every time.
Yeah. Dude, it's been forever since I've had an Aroa. Like they make some solids because like, and I know you said this before too, Honduran. A lot of Hondurans just you don't feel.
Yeah,
but
that's true. That is true.
But they do for Hondurans. I mean, it's Camacho. I mean, it's the guy who used to make Camacho. So he knows his shit.
He knows his shit, man. They taste pretty good. It's not like I'm throwing shots, but it's not like Alec Bradley to me. Like most of the time, I'm just like I'm dodging those too. Nah, I'm cool on that.
Except the Kintsugi. You won't dodge the Kintsugi.
I will not. You throw that shit at me, I'm smoking that shit every fucking time.
You're catching that shit with your mouth.
I'm Randy Moss on that motherfucker. You can throw that shit anywhere. I'm one-handing that shit. I'm catching that motherfucker. I love that damn cigar.
Before you go, Keelan, I'm gonna have you guys pick. I'm gonna have you guys pick my next cigar that I light up.
All right, what you got?
So first we have the Tatuaje Michael, gifted by Michael, Monster Series. We have that. We have a Wildfire the single.
Ooh.
This is the Churchill. Michael's had this one.
Mm-hmm.
La Galera Churchill, Imperial Jade. That one, Phosphorus.
Of course, he'd have a Bosphorus.
You know me. Old school Don Carlos #2.
Hey.
So got that. It's not an Eye of the Shark, but it's kind of close.
It's such a good cigar, regardless, bro.
Ashton VSG Bellicoso. This has probably like 4 years of age on it. Plasencia Reserva Original Toro.
I just smoked that 2 days ago. Nice one. That's a good cigar, man.
Solid. Plasencia 149 Cosecha Toro. I got a few more. I have the Claro and Maduro Olmec.
Oh shit! You just showing off right now. That's all this.
Yeah,
seriously.
I didn't know what to smoke after, so I'm like, I'm just gonna take all these out with me, and I'm gonna let you guys decide. This may be one to like finish off with. This is a Cabaguan Maduro, but this has probably like 10 years of age on it. So yeah. And then lastly, we have Desfilito, Dapper Cigar, Desfilito.
Nice. I'm going with the Michael there, man. Tis the season. I'm going with the Michael. I don't know what everybody else is. I'm going to say
Michael.
You going with the Michael? What about you, Michael? Michael, okay. That'll be the next cigar I smoke.
That's the move.
Thank you,
fellas,
guys.
I'm sorry I got to parachute out of here early, man. I hate it, man. I hate that I got to go, but
I do want to show this. Gotta do, man.
This is my yearly tiger right here. This is the stem that came out of that fucking.
That's the fucking branch. Fuck, man.
Wow.
Y'all enjoy those, man. I'll get up with y'all on the next time around. I'll be around for the next one.
All right, man.
All right, dude. Good chilling, brother. Good chilling.
Peace, fellas. Peace to everybody in the chat. Hey, everybody in the chat, if you haven't subscribed to Master Your Ash, do that shit right now before I get up out of here. Click the like button on the shit when this comes out. Make sure y'all support his channel. Wealth of knowledge, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Peace, fellas. Man.
All right, see you, dude.
Later, bro. Alrighty, fellas.
Just us, and then there were 3.
And then there were 3. Man, what a selection you brought out tonight. You were ready to go.
Well, and I'm an idiot because usually there's a cell on that thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually I'm an idiot and I just bring out like a little baggie with like a few cigars, but it's like the entire time I've had this like, you know, this Herfador case. I'm like, I just need to bring this out with me. So, but obviously I filled it up. But before I light this up, I got to go use the restroom, so I will be right back.
Do your things. Do your things. I love your shirt, DJ.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome.
Is
My wife was a huge pumpkin spice fan, and every single year we'd go to Trader Joe's because they would have the pumpkin spice like seasoning out. And I remember 2 years ago she bought, I think it was 15 jars of pumpkin spice seasoning, and I think that we finally got through all of them.
damn.
I mean, she was an addict.
That's an addiction right there. Yeah, yeah. No, my wife recently got into well, I guess not recently now. When 2020 hit, she got into the cups. So she started want to be one of those the Starbucks cups collectors.
A cups collector, yes, yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah, I built her a shelf because we had so many. I'm like, we're gonna have 43 of these collectible rare edition cups here. We're gonna display that shit.
We collect mugs too, but most of them, like, this is our Black Cat Halloween mug, and
Yeah.
then like, you know, we find all of these different like dog and cat mugs and stuff like that, and that's usually what we're collecting.
No, some of them Starbucks people are crazy, and they'll pay hundreds of bucks for a slightly different mug. And I'm like, whatever, man. If you can pick up 2 and sell 1, go for it. I don't care.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, if you make your money back, I mean, we do that with
Yeah.
cigars, right?
yeah,
Some
that's the
of us.
thing. I'm like, all right, I burn the shit I collect, so I guess I can't complain too much. Like,
Yep. Yep. No, very true. Very, very true. Cigar. Oh yeah, you want to know what's funny? That's actually a great comment. So I got a text a couple of weeks ago from my buddy who was out in LA. There was a shop that had dress boxes of Tatuaje monsters, and they had them all at the top shelf. And my buddy was like, "Hey man, you know, you want a box of monsters? I'll ask the guy," kind of thing. And I'm like, "No, if he's displaying every single monster and he has them at an actual smoke shop, that means that he's charging an arm and a leg for them if they're still just sitting there. So I'm good."
yeah,
I've heard good things about this Michael. I've never had one though.
So I had my first one last week. I shot the review for it. That's going to come out on Halloween because I already did the Drac review. We released that the other day, and well, the Michael was good, man. I enjoyed it.
And you got a box of these, right?
No,
You had to.
5-pack.
Oh, 5-pack.
Just a 5-pack, yeah. Just a 5-pack. I honestly, so like on my secondary site that I use to pick up like all of my exclusive stuff, I put out, because they have like an in search of for the people on the forum that want to seek out rare sticks or, you know, things that haven't been posted yet. They have this in search of. So you put, I'm in search of blah, 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 right? So I put on there I think it was last year or earlier in the year. I was like, you know, I really want a Michael dress box. And if you guys if anybody has one, you know, I'm willing to buy it, whether it's partial or it's full. I did the same exact thing with the Chuck and the Tips, right? And the Chuck and the Tips, I got the box. They had been unopened. And, you know, I sent those out to you guys as well because I got a full box. And I wanted us all to review them. So I did the same thing. And this guy was like, "Hey man, I don't have any dress boxes, but I have like a 5-pack if you want a 5-pack, and I'll throw in some other Tatuaje stuff." So that's how that.
Is this I don't want to give away your source, but Is it a fairly does it start with an O?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't, then I'll send it to you, and we could talk about it offline.
Yeah,
Because of YouTube, obviously. Otherwise, I
yeah,
mean, I don't mind sharing the wealth with anybody who asks, but
yeah.
it's definitely
As
been my
long
secondary market for a while.
I think as long as you don't say the .com part, you're in the clear. But still,
Yeah,
might as well not risk it.
right, right. It's online and it's a Humi.
There you go.
There you go.
That's where my friend Joe, he said like you may know about this because you're on there, but I guess there's some guy, I forget where, but some guy passed away and he had like a collection that probably like amassed, yeah, so you know about this. My
Yep.
friend Joe, he like got some insanely like rare stuff that you cannot get. That hasn't been made in years. Like he
The
got
beauty. Well, I was going
sorry
to say the
Michael.
beauty. No, no, no. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The beauty of that was that it was his kid, I believe, that
His
basically
sons.
made like his son that made like an Excel file for everybody, and I showed up I think day 2 on that, and the stuff that I saw that people had bought they had already bought, I was just like, wow, that's like, I mean, it was a collection from 20, 30 years back, that if not longer.
Yeah, like my buddy, he got like I think maybe multiple boxes of the I think I sent you one, the La Aurora Preferitos Cameroon Lancero. Like they haven't
Mhm.
made that cigar since like 2012 or 2014, and he got that, and they came in boxes of 36, I think. He got a box where like he paid like $11 a cigar. And these are like aged, like decade. No, I think he got the original release box from like 2008 for $11 a cigar. I mean,
This is
that's just it's insane.
this has always been my kind of like my feeling about cigars just in general, because my favorite cigar, or like the best cigar that I feel as though I've ever smoked, was the Monte Cristo Edmundo Dantes, the Code 109. That was the Mexican release Cuban cigar, the regional for them. And I bought it off of that site. I think that I've talked about it on I think it was our first or our second live stream. It was probably like $70 a stick or something like that I paid for it. Somewhere in that realm, $50 to $70 a stick. And we're talking about before Cuban cigars like jumped up in
Skyrocketed.
price the way that they are now.
Yeah.
And I bought it off of a seller on that site. And, it's one of those where, if there are cigars out there that you're in search of, or that those whales that you want to harpoon, and you want to find those magical unicorns that are out there, there's a
Yeah.
collector somewhere that probably has them, that they're never ever going to smoke them, and that's the sad part about cigars. But
Yeah.
the beauty of cigars is that oftentimes, if you do enough digging and enough searching, you'll find what you're looking for at a certain point. And if you have the discretionary means and income to do it, you can usually pick those up, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's just another great resource for things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sorry
Yeah.
that I cut you off. You were saying.
No, like talking about that. I don't know if it's that specific cigar, but and I didn't even like have one. I tried one that my friend was smoking, the Edmundo Dantes, and it was like smoking like chocolate butter. Like the few puffs that I had, it was absurdly incredible. That
Yeah.
that that Cuban, and yeah, I would absolutely love to try one of those cigars, but obviously you'd be paying one hell of a premium, especially right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that there was somebody who sold one on the site recently. I don't know how much they were selling them for, but I'm pretty sure that it was like well over $120 a stick,
Gee.
Yeah.
$150 a stick. And then I was listening to Kirby, the guy who
Allison.
does like men's fat. Yeah, Adelson. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was listening to one of his interviews with the owners of the Davidoff shop in London, and they were talking about the La Reina or La Renea or whatever that uh, El Rey del Mundo that came out as a regional release in the Cuban cigars. And it was like a Lancero that came out a few years back, and it was like the best regional release that had been released in a number of years. And he even made mention, he was like, the only cigar that I've had as a regional release that was as good, if not better than this, was the Edmundo Dantes Conde 109. And I'm like, okay, these are guys that smoke plenty of Cuban cigars, and they just back up my opinion. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm good. I'm good
Feel
here.
validated. Yeah.
Very, very much so.
Oh,
Oh,
probably
Matt,
not.
Matt, you need one, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny, Matt. We were just talking about this offline earlier today. As cigar reviewers, that sometimes on occasion are sent things that we have the opportunity to talk about, right? We never thought that we would be doing customer service for Need One
No.
after posting our reviews. But not only did Cigar Hound Dog have a customer service question today, I personally had a customer service question that I answered with one of the people that I interact with on Instagram who bought a Need One. And they were trying to plug it in. And it was Calvin, actually, our buddy Calvin.
Mhm.
And I told him, I said, look, man, get the RH, get the relative humidity to a good spot before you start turning on the actual like cooling and heating and messing with that. Because whenever you start messing with compressors and fluctuations in temperature, you're gonna deregulate and destabilize your relative humidity.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it goes. But no, there are no current coupon codes. That was just something that when we did our reviews and we did our initial postings of Need One, that they sent out to us. What I will say is that it seems as though Need One has reached out to more people and that they run specials on their units. So I would imagine during the Christmas season and during the holidays, like they probably will have some discounts that come up. You just have to kind of check in. The thing that I always do on Amazon is I always add stuff to my lists, and then I check back and I see when the price fluctuates or whenever there's a coupon code. So maybe that little bit of advice, but I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe it'll help.
Yeah, they run coupon codes for like everything. If you just check back every holiday, I'm sure there'll be something. I've never seen them not on sale at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and also what you can do, say if like they do send it to another, person on, Cigar YouTube or whatever, and they put out a review, they'll have a coupon code for that week. What you do is just like type in Need One Humidor or Need One Humidor review on YouTube, and then search by, most recently uploaded. So maybe check in there too to see if there's like anybody new who's posted a review that you can use their coupon code of.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know. I've gotten a couple people who have asked questions. It's usually related to how many Boveda packs they want to throw in there, and I always tell I'm the worst person to ask because I don't even pay attention to mine half the time. More than half the time. I open it up and I'm like, yeah, it's one. I have two hygrometers. One will say like 60 something, one will be 50, and I'm like, that's good enough. Somewhere in there.
There you go. Watch out for Cyber Monday, Black Friday deals. That's going to be the next big one for sure.
Oh yeah. If you could wait a month, do it and just wait till Black Friday.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard from them since before I posted my little wooden box my review.
Technically, EKB has never gotten a unit to review, so maybe if Need One's out there and they can reach out to EKB, we'll have the Vintage Cigar will have a unit to review. It's kind of weird because of the fact that they're both in Asia.
Yeah. Just over the Sea of Japan.
Yeah. Strange. The ash on that Michael looks pretty good, buddy.
Dude, this ash is gorgeous. Beautiful cigar. Getting a lot of honeysuckle sweetness right now.
You've already smoked the best monster on the live stream tonight. Because my chuck is it was decent, but definitely very arid.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, could that cigar have been like better, like upon release? Like, because with aging, you expect it to be like, more mellowed out. And it's still not that mellow of a cigar. Like, what you get most is just like the air and smoke texture and pepper from that one.
Listen, this cigar suffered a lot ratings wise when it was first released, and I'm sure that that's why it was so easy for me to pick up dress boxes last
Yeah.
year. I think that, I mean, we can look it up right now, but I'm pretty sure that Half Wheel dogged the hell out of this stick.
Hmm. And it sucks even more. Well, I guess not really because they won half of it, but the TIFF is just so much better,
Oh, it's
you know.
vastly better.
And
Oh, wow.
it's just
So
weird how.
I take that back. I apologize. It actually scored an 89, and they said that it was one of the best ones that they smoked upon initial release.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Well, all right. Well, I mean, what did they
Because
rate? Hold on, I got to see the TIFF here.
Someone was a big
They had-
sponsor of mine.
Yeah, that's true too. Wait, hold on. I think maybe I looked up the review for the Pudgy. No. This is the regular. Okay, hold on.
That cigar was a bunch of pepper and then nothing. Like,
yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. What did they rate the TIFF? The TIFF got an 88. All right. Well, I mean, I
wow.
thought the TIFF smoked better too.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Interesting stuff, Half Wheel. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
None of that. None of that shit.
I guess it depends
That's
on availability.
Yeah, it's all like right now, your best bet's the Drac Redux because that just came out. But here's the thing, and I think you mentioned this, Michael, in your it wasn't the Drac review. It was I think the one that came in the Monster Mash, that Drac. You mentioned that Monster Mash pack is still available, and it is. So that would be your best bet. That would be your best bet, Kevin. Is to just I think you could probably find them on you can find them online. Just Google it. Just type in Tatawahe Monster Mash, and you can still find it available. That's probably your best bet to try multiple blends too.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a slight difference in the blends and the Monster Mash. I feel like being that it's maintaining the same ring gauge but changing the length slightly on every stick, you get a good understanding without having to maybe overpay, because a lot of the monsters that have existed for so many years, they'll hike up the price a little bit. The monsters are really only supposed to be $13 sticks, right? 13 sticks in a box, $13 a cigar, 169 bucks. That was the unlucky 13 retailers that would get them every single year, and that list would always change. It was supposed to have that gimmick to it, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen them for well over $13 if you're trying to buy them on the secondary market. And it's just about like finding which one you like the most, really, and investing at that point if it's available to you.
Yeah. Like your review of the Drac the Redux, that's like I told you in my comment, I'm gonna wait a year to smoke that. I'm gonna wait a year to like not even for a review, just to smoke it in general. Because those cigars, like that there's something there, but it's not prevalent yet.
Well, you posted the Frank after a year today.
Yeah. And it was but the thing is with the Frank, like I didn't smoke them fresh, but I remember like last year when they came out, people were like they're really damn good, like off the bat. But like the Redux, the Drac, everybody I've spoken to is just like, yeah, it's whatever right now. They're fresh.
Yeah, they're very fresh. Yes, indeed. And DJ is he's kind of unfazed by the whole entire Monster Halloween stuff.
Well, I'm looking. I was trying to find them just from like a normal retailer. They're pretty much gone on a lot of the major sites.
Mm-hmm.
The Monster Mash sampler.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not fine. I found it on I can't say anywhere specifically, but a lot of them are sold out already.
Well, you're gonna get, because people still have the advent calendars that Tatuaje just recently released, and although it's going to be shorter and a smaller ring gauge, there are, I believe, 5 monsters in every advent calendar. So that's another way for people to try. Yeah, I think that because they released 2 different advent calendars this past week. They released the one that was supposed to come out last year, and then a brand new one for this year. Both advent calendars have 24 sticks in them. And I believe that one of them is a holiday pumpkin, which was an event-only release that was supposedly really delicious. Then they have...
I've seen the band.
Right. Then they have 1 holiday or 2 holiday sticks for Christmas, or, just the holidays. And 5 monsters along with, like, the cabbies, the La Requesas, the standard lineup to fill in the rest.
Yeah. What's one cigar that like you've seen around? It doesn't have to be new, but like what's one cigar that you've seen around that you hear a lot of people talking about that you haven't tried yet? And it could be like a really old cigar, like that you just haven't really gotten around to smoking.
Dude, the Brick House.
That was mine. That was mine.
They're good cigars. They really are.
Say that like a forlorn lover.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just get my other cup out here. I brought out both. For me, everyone keeps asking me to try the Magic Toast, and I do not want to.
Oh God, yeah, no, I was not a fan.
That's all I had
that last year.
And
Mineral Earth
to review it, and I'm like, I don't wanna.
Yeah, if you were not a fan of the Chuck, I don't think that you would be a fan of the Magic Toast.
Dude, there's some similarities. You're right. Even though I think it's predominantly a Honduran blend, the Magic Toast, there are a lot of similarities between those 2 cigars.
Should have called it the Burnt Toast.
Dude, yeah, it is.
Thank you, Kevin.
By the Magic Toast, yeah. That cigar, like, and I've had like people comment on my review, like, "Oh, I really like this cigar. This cigar is awesome." Like, that's awesome. I'm glad you like it. Have mine. Like, I'm not gonna have any more.
Yeah. Wow, that one's a little rough.
Yeah, everyone.
I don't know, Matt. What have you like heard in the ether that you've been wanting to try?
Well, like you said, the Brick House, that was one today. One for a while that I did end up trying was the Flathead. I had never smoked a Flathead before. That obviously, very popular cigar.
Yeah.
Shit. Fuck, man. I smoke a lot of fucking cigars. I'll need to think about that. I'll think a little bit more hard on that. But yeah, because just like even say like the Macanudo, like Inspirado, like stuff like that. I've seen around for forever. Never had one. Like very, very popular, widely available cigars.
Yeah, you don't do a ton of like I don't know what you'd call them, generic shit. Like all the big brands like that, I don't see on your channel that often.
And it's good to do just to get it out there because those videos get a lot of views.
Yeah.
But like I need to do like a Oliva G, Oliva O, stuff like that because a lot of people are looking for reviews of those cigars. Like I have them. I just anytime I go to like pick a cigar for review, I'm like, oh, this one seems interesting. This one seems good. It's very like it's very spontaneous. Like whenever I pick a cigar for review. But say like the nubs, like if you and DJ, you've probably reviewed a nub or two, but those cigars get a crap ton of views. Those and Rocky Patel's. If you want a lot of views and a lot of like engagement and new subscribers, because you're with
Be right back.
no problem, man. With like different types of cigars, you're going to get a completely different type of potential, viewer and potential subscriber. And you're just kind of going through and like, fishing for a different type of person. And, a lot of it is just because they're new to the hobby. So they're just going with like the most basic brands that are the most widely available because they're new to the hobby.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Nub and Rocky Patel, those are great places to go to if you're just looking to get a crap ton of views.
Yeah, Adam Swanson did like a battle of the nubs. I just looked it up. It's got 10,000 views. And he almost never posts. It's just what people look for. And that's the thing. I'm like, that's a good cigar. It get views. I don't want to smoke it. Like I have so much other interesting shit that I'm like, that's one of the hardest things a lot of the times. I'm like, I'll go to pick up cigars. I'm like, I know this one will get views, but I want to smoke this one. And it's trying to decide. Yeah.
That's it. That is it. Like, and it's just like, and it could be a good cigar too. The more generic one. It could be a totally fine cigar, but it's just like there's the boutique stuff, and I don't want to seem like I'm more slated towards boutique stuff, but it's just by the general nature of it all, it's just a more interesting cigar to smoke. The stuff that are coming from smaller boutique companies, and not all the time, but I'd say not even the vast majority of the time, but the majority of the time, in my opinion, they are better quality cigars.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what I always tell any new person asking what I go to the Oliva aisle, pick up anything. Whichever one sounds most just pick it up. You're not going to be disappointed. And it's going to
and what's another thing you say, the rule of P's. Perdomo, Padrone, like Plasencia.
Yeah. If it's got a P, you're probably going to be fine. And then literally just go to the Oliva aisle, close your eyes, and pick one. And you're going to like it. Like you just will. They're not super exciting, but they're good.
And they're not super expensive either. Like they're very affordable.
Yeah.
They're good. Yep. Fuck, man, that camera thing is so crazy, dude.
It's weird because I bought a gimbal, and the gimbal has an app where it'll do this, but this is just software. My camera's not moving at all, and it's still tracking me. And I'm like, and every now and then I'm like, oh, I moved. Okay, there we go. And that's a coworker of mine must have had the beta, like Michael was talking about, because he'd be on a Zoom meeting, and his whole face is just like moving constantly. Like, what the fuck do you have? Anyway, it must have been this. I'm like,
it had to have been the beta.
It's weird, but it's cool. The top down view is insane. I don't know how they do that at all, but someone much smarter than me figured it out.
Had to get a slightly warmer, outfit.
Coat on. What are the temps out there?
58 degrees right now.
It's 63 here.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 50 something here. I don't know. Our weather's insane. It's been raining nonstop for the past 2 days, and it was like.
You're doing your in your garage. You're doing the stream from your garage, so and the internet's been fine and dandy.
Yeah, I'm using my phone as a hotspot for the laptop, which I tried to do the first time I hosted, but it couldn't handle more than just me. So I think that since it's just me connected to Michael hosting, I think it works just fine. But I'd much rather be here than the backyard. It's fucking soaked out there.
Shit.
I already know one of Matt's. And I feel the same way about it. The Buffalo 10.
Buffalo 10, yeah. He's got a Buffalo 10 and an army of Plasencias that he's just sitting on right now. It's not actually a chair. It's just boxes of Placencia cigars.
Placencias. I've been smoking a lot of those. The Cavalier, the limited edition 2022. I love that cigar. That's a great smoke. Obviously, that's not going to be around for forever, being a limited edition. The Warped Eagle's Descent. I've been smoking a lot of those. Those are very good cigars. I know the one like busted up on Keelan last live stream, but from my experience with that cigar, they're fucking fantastic. Placencia Reserva Original for an affordable. I think that's like their entry level cigar. The Placencia Reserva Original. Great little cigar. Like I have the Robusto. It's like a 4 3/4 by 52 or something like that. Great little smoke. Yeah, I can go on and I can just keep going, but I'll stop there for now.
You know what I've recently been enjoying a lot too are the undercrown shades, the little Connecticut undercrown shades. I've noticed that I probably smoked like 2 or 3 of them this week just on a whim, you know, as like a kind of intermezzo or just to kind of start the day off if I have some extra time. Thoroughly enjoyed those.
What size?
Toro.
Okay.
Toro.
You know,
Yeah,
I have never. So sorry, Michael.
No, you're fine. I have a ton of them from the last couple of Drew Estate events that I was to, and then when I didn't post any of the video, which is bad on me, but I did like a cut in the light for this cocktail thing that we did back in February, and Drew Estate sent out some boxes for me to kind of put up there. And, you know, they're all cocktail people, so only so many of them smoked cigars, which I was the beneficiary of because I got to take back the boxes. But
Yeah.
a lot of them were undercrowns, like Maduro Shade and just like
Sun-grown.
the Sun-grown, right? So I've just been kind of moving through those that I've had, taking up some space in the humidor.
Mm-hmm. When did the shade come out?
I want to say that was 2016, 17.
It was around there. It was around there
Right
because
around
I
there.
remember it was a big deal because that was a second release from that line, the underground line after the Maduro, and I haven't tried that cigar yet, and I
Yeah,
have one. Sorry, Michael.
No. I keep on. I was cutting you off on that one. I was going to say that I think that the whole entire reason for the undercrown existing was because of the fact that all of the factory workers were smoking all the Liga, and they needed them, right? So they came out with the undercrown as kind of like a entry level point for those that wanted Liga, right?
Yeah. And I have one of the shades that I got when those first came out. It's a Robusto, and it probably has like 7 years of age on it, probably.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
shade's a really good cigar. The first time I smoked it, I had eaten something really spicy like an hour before, so I absolutely hated it. And then I reviewed it on the channel, and I was like, "This is a vastly different cigar. This is way better." I like that. Having on hand, I love the CAO Gold. It's a super basic cigar, but it's really nice.
Never had one of those, and I've seen it around since I started smoking.
I saw a guy. I was in CI just like browsing shit, and this dude walked in who looked like he was 12, and he was just yelling, "Where are the CAO Golds?" And he bought like 2 boxes, and then sure enough, I was talking about basic Connecticut's that I like, and someone sent me one, and I'm like, all right, this is whatever. And then no, it's a really good cigar for what it is.
Yeah. And have you guys? I know you've had the Dogma, DJ, the sun-grown Dogma. Have you tried just the regular sun-grown undercrown?
No, not yet.
Michael?
The regular sun-grown? Yeah. Absolutely. I have a few still left from that initial kind of Drew Estate thing. I'll have to send you some, DJ.
Oh yeah.
Are they good? Like, are they? And they're a good cigar?
Yeah, I think that the Dogma sun-grown is a little bit better, personally.
Yeah.
You know, if you
Yeah.
had that. But I do
Yeah.
really enjoy the Shade. The Shade was my favorite out of the Undercrowns, besides obviously the UC10 that just came out.
Yeah. Is that something that they're going to continue making, or
I believe
was it just for last year?
that it's going to be a standard production, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Is that the
Yeah.
nicer Maduro?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
like
Mexican hot coffee.
the Knights Templar ribbon on it.
That thing is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I need to smoke that one. It's sitting in the humidor somewhere.
No. Dude, this Michael is cooking right now. I'm at the halfway point. It's really freaking good. Like a lot of brown sugar sweetness on this thing. It's bomb. Dude, Michael, what you lighting up there?
Hype.
So I said that I was going to have the pipe the last time that I was out here for Sean T, because he was in the chat, and I grabbed some of the warped scarecrow from 2021 that he had sent me in the bomb that I posted with all the pipe tobacco, and you know, I said that as my intermezzo I'd have a little pipe bowl.
Nice. Is that from Warped Cigars?
Yep. He actually, I did an unboxing video before we started the channel, and he actually sent me the new one for this year. So this is from Warp Cigars, and that's their pipe tobacco.
I see. I just thought like it was a like another maker or a blend just called Warp. I didn't know that they were related to the actual cigar company. So that's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's always why I get confused why people hate on like any type of infused or flavored cigar, but they're cool with pipe tobacco of any type.
Right?
I'm like, okay. Whatever you say,
Dude,
bro.
when are Flavored Fridays coming back?
I was thinking about that just this past week. I looked and I was like, dude, it's been since June that I posted one. I just haven't had the time. And then every time again I go to, I'm like, I could pick up a flavored cigar or this like super premium, ultra rare thing that one of you two sent me that you can't buy anymore. I'm like, oh, I only got time for one. I guess I'll go with this. Yeah, I need to get back to where I can smoke twice a week. As soon as December hits, thing will slow down. November, I'm gonna blink and it's gonna be over. Like,
yeah,
I have way
busy,
too much
busy.
going on. I have a charity event next week that pretty much takes up the entire week, and then we have like planning for 2023, which is going to be a massive waste of time. But I got to sit through it and be bored.
Yeah.
And then Thanksgiving, and I'm going out on vacation shortly after that, so it's going to be like December, no time, man.
Yeah. Like vacation, just like taking time off from work, or are you planning on going somewhere?
We're gonna go to the Smokies.
Yeah, I was just there in May. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I've never been. It's a place my wife used to visit growing up all the time, so it'll be fun.
Are you going to Pigeon Forge?
A couple places. I think that was one of them. We're going to Dollywood one day or something like that. All that whole shit.
Yeah.
Whatever's
All this
interesting.
touristy shit.
Yeah.
T52. I've always liked the T52 more than the number 9 when it comes to Ligas. But that H99, fuck man, that was like a just absurdly delicious cigar. That H99 Toro that I smoked. That 10-year that you sent, Michael, the anniversary or anniversario, that's a fantastic cigar too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I know, man. I know. Jesus. All right.
Got a little visitor there.
Yep. No, man, that that anniversary is really good.
Yeah. And that uses a hybrid wrapper too, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Damn good smoke. How are the comments section doing? Are we popping off, or is it slowing down right now?
We slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
You still streaming off your phone, then, Michael or Matt? Just
What was that?
Off the browser? Are you still streaming off your browser on your phone?
Yeah. Before, because Michael did like a direct link from Instagram this time.
Yeah.
To go to StreamYard, but it gave me the option to copy it and put it into the Safari browser on my phone. Whereas before, I had to go through like the Gmail app when I was checking my email, and then it opened up the Safari app within my Gmail app. So it was like really convoluted.
Weird.
But now I'm just on Safari on my phone.
Gotcha.
So do you guys think your lists are locked in at this point? If you started your list for the cigars for 2022, best cigars?
I haven't even thought about it, but it's
Same.
the end of October.
Yeah.
I mean, I take that back. I guess that I kind of wrote up, like, going back through some of my reviews, just like what really stuck out, and then I just left it on the paper, and I'm gonna probably go back again further this month and see, like, for November where I stand, and then, like, I still have to review the Plasencia Almaforte, the Toro,
Eduardo,
and
yeah.
a couple of other ones that I think can. And then I also, as we talked about, in the last live stream, I have to, like, figure out if, like, Plasencia gets kind of its own category. What my idea was I was thinking that I was going to use 54 as the ring gauge. So everything above 54 and everything 54 and below, we're going to be in two separate categories. And I thought that might be a unique wrinkle for the end of the year.
That's cool. That's unique. And it, like, have you like come up with like a solid number of cigars that you want to have on each list?
I think that, like, 3 and 3 with an honorable mention or two for each category, that basically makes it 10 overall, and five on each side.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, dude. I've never thought about, like, categorizing it by ring gauge. That's really cool.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking would be, like, the most fair, right? Because if I just do the whole thing, then it's like, well, if the Plasencia Almaforte does really good and the year of the Tiger did so well, like, those are two Plasencia cigars that can take up slots. Whereas if they're duking it out with each other,
yeah.
Or they're in their own individual categories, maybe. I don't know.
The 149 is in that same size too, isn't it?
I think the 149. It's I have it right here. Let me see if it says it on the on the cellophane. It is a 6x52.
Gotcha.
The La Azaglaupa. But you had it in, like, the
Look at chunky size.
yeah, it was like a 4.5 or something by 60, right?
Yeah.
I want to try it in that size.
I'm liking that 60 ring gauges are becoming way more popular, which is dope. That's the size I like.
They are, like, pretty much like any blend that comes out from, like, any, like, decent amount of production cigar, this could have a 660. This could have a 60 ring gauge size.
Yeah, I think that's
like
Plasencia.
Yeah, and like the Olmecs, they have a 660 of that one too.
They're good as long as they burn. This one is staying less lit than the 9x90 did.
Is that the Uber still? The Oktoberfest?
Yeah, it's still going. Yeah, now I've saw so many reviews about the 990 talking about it was hard to manage, and it wasn't at all. I don't know if people just aren't used to large ring gauges, but keep it lit and it stays lit. It's a shit ton of tobacco. It's not gonna go out unless you let it go out.
Yeah. Only
That's
if
like
it's wet.
yeah, well, that's like half of what Cigar's daily review was how hard it was to manage. I'm like that and dick jokes, and I'm like it was really fine, man. It really wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you're like picturing yourself just getting reamed by it, like you're okay. It's a cigar.
Yeah. Not a good picture.
Oh, man.
Change the topic. Change the topic.
Well, that's Cigar's daily though. I mean, he's a character.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that I watched after I think Johnny left that comment. I went back and watched that video, and he acts like surprised as to how he's gonna score his own fucking rating. I said, "We'll see what this is gonna get." I'm like, okay, let's cross our fingers and see how this
Yeah.
personally.
Guy who's gonna give us the answer.
Yeah,
Like, what is his rating system?
it's just numbers. It's that little book you can buy from him. I think he
Is
based
it like
based off of like whatever the cigar aficionados rating system is.
is it a 10-point scale? Is that a 100-point scale?
100 point.
Okay, so like CA.
Yeah. Like it's the same exact thing, and then it's always dramatic as far as like what it matters for his own personal experience.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys see that they came out with more Mortal Coils, Arcana Mortal Coils.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know Keelan, he was like a couple live streams ago, he was saying that he really wanted to try one, and I think he was bombed with a couple too, so he can try one. But yeah, it's just weird how like out of nowhere that limited cigar is just like, back, and it's here again.
I when I was smoking, I remember, and I talked about it, and I even titled, "Why does this cigar exist?" Because it's nothing that's completely unique except for their marketing around it, as far as the one I got. But even when I did, I had people like, well, it's because you didn't do this, you didn't do that. I'm like, there shouldn't be specific instructions for a cigar unless it should come with it when you buy it. Like, if you
that
have
was
to
D-Love's video.
Yeah.
D-Love's video was, if you're going to have all of these cigars that smoke differently at different humidity, then you should really, as a manufacturer, explain to people, maybe with like a little insert in the box or something like, hey, this is optimal.
Yeah.
Look for this. Do this.
It's got to be all the way down to singles, because not everyone buys boxes. Like, I just walked in and local shop has this is the new section. And I went, hey, that has foil on the band and kind of looks pretty. I'll buy this. And that's the only reason I picked it up. And I had no idea you had to do it a specific way. I'm like, it's a cigar. It had no instructions besides smoke it.
Yeah. Right.
It shouldn't, but yeah, I mean, with all the different varietals and different types of tobacco there are, like, some of them will smoke differently and be more optimal at different RHs.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. But really, they should all smoke. You should be able to light up any cigar the same way and get a similar experience, like as far as what the cigar should be. It's idiot proofing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, if you don't mind me, or Rodriguez, how did he do you dirty? If you don't mind elaborating.
Oh yeah, let's throw that one back up there.
I'm interested to know.
Let's go as deep into this question as possible, please.
Yeah, Matt. Being that you are the most recent poster in the last 20 minutes, let's unpack this.
Man. Dude, this Michael, man, this thing is damn good. What year was this, Michael? What year was this?
2017, I want to say.
Okay.
2017.
So
You would
it
think
says
that I would
5
remember
years.
off the top of my head since I just did the review last week, but it was a week. Let's see.
Yeah.
The Michael. I believe it was 2017. Let's see. The Michael. That would be 2017, good sir.
You're right.
2017.
This
Sir.
is good. I can imagine this being a little punchy like early on in this cigar's life.
Yeah, and that was when I had like kind of given up on the Monster series, so I didn't even smoke it when it
Yeah.
came out.
Your namesake.
Yeah, I had to source it secondhand, so go figure. But hey, it was worth the wait, right?
It was. This thing is damn good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am really enjoying it. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, you're welcome.
It can't be as bad as the movie.
Yeah, you and I, we were going back and forth on that one. That was a little rough. Halloween Ends.
Yeah. That was the only Halloween-esque movie I really watched this year.
You know what's
I'm
saying?
not gonna watch it.
I had what did we watch? We watched the first episode of American Horror Story this past week that came out. The New York City one. That's okay. It's nothing special. And then there was God, what else did we watch just the other night? I wanted to watch it's eluding me. Oh, that's right. Guillermo del Toro's thing that just came out on Netflix, the 4-parter. We saw the first episode of that last night. That was
I had no idea. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea that he had anything new out, so that's cool.
Yeah, I saw them
I think that
advertise it at one of those.
Yeah, I think that he's the producer. I don't think that he directed or maybe wrote everything, but yeah, he definitely produced it and it's decent. But yeah, I typically do like Hubie Halloween. I'll do like one episode.
Dude, I was gonna say that, man. I was like, my wife and I are planning to watch that tomorrow. It's such a fucking funny movie.
I like it. I have to say I like it for what it is.
Dude, the mom shirts, like each time like she's wearing another shirt, like it's so fucking funny.
I shaved my balls for this. Absolutely love it. That and his thermos that has all the contraptions to it. I'm just like, oh man, this is so funny.
So stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid. Hubi Dubois.
Yeah, Dubois. You got a dress box of Michaels at your local shop? All right. You hit me up on Instagram at Master Ash. We'll figure this out.
We'll make it happen.
I have CBD soda water. That's payment.
Make a trade. Oh man. How's that pipe going, Michael?
You know what? It's probably the first time that I've smoked out of it in at least 5 years, maybe longer. It's the tobacco by Warped is really nice. They because I don't have like an actual blend on the one that I'm smoking, but it says in the Scarecrow from this year that it's aged Virginias, Burleys, and red Virginia Cavendish. And Cavendish is always like it was always one of my favorites. There was like this blend that the local cigar shop by my house used to have that was called the Magnificent Seven, and it had a whole bunch of Cavendish to it. English blend. It was really nice. So yeah, I dig it. I mean, I haven't tried an Eagle's Descent or really much from Warped from the cigar side, so I don't really have a lot to kind of put together with it. I did try the Stillwell Star. The one that I had, it was a bit fresh because it was at PCA last year, and I haven't gone back to it, but I really want to try out the whole line. I know that Saka Saka has a limited edition in that lineup that came out too. He posted it on Instagram this past week. So
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
All right, here we go. You guys got the first part?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have some draw issues and some hard spots. Okay, so Matt, you're just basically saying that possibly the temperature and the condition of the cigar was compromised.
Yeah. And I'm guessing their customer service wasn't all that helpful.
Too busy editing videos, man. I don't know. I've never personally bought anything from them, so I can't speak to it myself. But I think they're in Arizona too, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, they're in Arizona. I think Zeal is as well. I've smoked a couple of their cigars because they were sent into the channel. I think by Johnny, of all people, Johnny or past that cap, one of the two. They're all right. I like the box press Rebellion. I think the most.
I think also Cigar King Club is in Arizona.
Yeah, they're in Scottsdale. I should have their next box on Monday.
Nice. And luxury. Was that DJ?
Oh, I got the notification. So I'll post that one sooner than the end of the month. I got the last October package early, and then more videos just kept popping up, and it kept getting pushed back and back and back.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't want to do 2 unboxings in a week. I'm like, I got to break that up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And Luxury Cigar Club, they're also in Arizona. A lot of online retailers in Arizona.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a tax thing.
Probably.
Could be. Seems like a tax-friendly state.
Mm-hmm.
More so than California, especially.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's like I can't buy from any company that sells retail online in California because it's like insane, like 30% tax. It's stupid.
Jeez.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
Damn. All right. Yeah. let it sit in your humidor for a couple weeks, but we can only help you after 24 hours.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I can only recommend at this point to get a perfect draw to help with tight draws if cigars, seem plugged. Because it can like save a cigar. It's unfortunate that you have to deal with that to begin with because all cigars should have perfect construction. All cigars should be 100% smokable from the get-go. But, perfect draw is a good band-aid to have just in case. Damn. This cigar is finishing up very well.
That's a cool little band.
So you're gonna light up something else, Michael?
Yeah, I think so. I think that I'm good for one more. I know that DJ, you said that you have till about midnight your time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is around 45 minutes. Yeah.
About 45 minutes to smoke a little one.
Yeah.
I gotta see what I have in my pack over here. I think that I have a little tiny guy.
Yeah, I brought a Villiger this time, so I could be part of the cool kids club. Last time I was missing out.
Nice, man.
What beer were you drinking?
It's the last 2 of these.
The Michelobes.
Yeah.
New Year Ultras. Nice. I had a little California pizza port tonight. I had the bacon and eggs, which is their imperial coffee stout.
Cool.
Yeah, it's from
So
Carlsbad.
heavy beer.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
only on
8%.
these live streams. So those like whatever his leftovers beer were lasted like 6 months. The 3 months. It was June that it came out or July or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fuck, Michael, you're a Mets fan, right?
Yankees.
Yeah. Okay. So either way, you're fucked.
Mhm.
And you guys were you guys swept
We were.
by by the the Astros, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes, sir.
sucks, dude. Hey, at least your
It,
Giants are still doing well.
hey, man, they're the one bright spot that I got going right now is they're playing a tough Seattle team, man. Seattle's been playing tough tomorrow,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
Yeah. They're doing so much better than Russell Wilson's team right now, and I'm loving it because they're in my division. So, the more everybody else sucks in my division, the better it is for me.
Oh yeah, and you guys just got Kadarius Toney from us, your Chiefs.
I saw that. I heard he's kind of like character issues and just kind of doesn't really take it that seriously.
He's a Giants wide receiver, man. What can I say?
Yeah.
We are capable of drafting immense talent like Plaxico, like Odell, and like Kadarius Toney. And sometimes, they just they have other interests than simply going out there and playing the best football that they're capable of. But I mean, if you needed an answer for not having Tariq Hill, if he's healthy and he plays, you have the possibility of him being something similar in some way, shape, or form. From what I've seen in the small sample size, right? We only got to watch 12 games out of the possible 24 in the last year and a half. But, dude, with
Was he
Mahomes and that
suspended?
team, no, he was injured.
He was injured.
He was
Okay.
injured. Yeah, he had a little tiny injury coming out of college and into the pros. And then just like Odell, like Odell missed his first 4 games of his rookie year. And
Yeah.
then he started playing and he looked amazing. And he got injured right away, took a lot of hits, and he's not that big as far as a frame goes of a wide receiver. But
Yeah.
yeah, he took some injuries and couldn't finish out the season strong. And then, start of this season, it was like he didn't want to go to the voluntary workouts in camp. The new coaching regime was kind of pissed off about that. You could just tell based off of all the social media stuff. And then it was one of those where he wasn't playing, and you're like, wait, hold on. His injury at the beginning of the season wasn't that serious. So there has to be a reason for it. And then
What's
it was
up?
like,
Yeah.
we're trading him.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the Chiefs, they take on a lot of players that have character issues, just with the hope of, especially Andy Reid being such a player's coach, of like being able to like rehab them and like get their head on straight.
Yeah.
I know we had Josh Gordon. I think we had Josh Gordon last year for a little bit, but didn't really pan out too much. But
Le'Veon?
yeah, Le'Veon Bell. But I heard like after like Le'Veon left the team, is he still playing anywhere?
I don't think so. Maybe the
Yeah,
Raiders
like
for a short stint he went afterwards and then he stopped, or Baltimore and then he's done.
yeah. I've heard like after his tenure in KC, he was talking smack on Andy Reid, and nobody talks smack on Andy Reid because everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he had issues with him.
I mean, I love Andy Reid. I think that he's an amazing coach. And he was Philly's coach for the long time, and we don't like the Eagles. So
there you go. And you still liked him.
yeah, I mean he had Terrell Owens, he had Donovan McNabb. I mean, they were great, those teams.
Yeah. I mean, they got to the Super Bowl and got to the NFC Championship multiple times.
Yep. Was it like 4 times?
I think 4 times consecutively too, I believe.
Mm-hmm. They were pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm looking forward to the Seattle game tomorrow.
Where is it?
Keep up. It's in Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna freaking light up and I'm gonna.
Let me grab my pack. See what I'm
right.
gonna finish strong with. Yep. Oh shit.
All right, DJ. Out of these two, Olmec Claro or Don Carlos number 2?
Oh, do the Olmec.
Do the Olmec.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what Michael says. He'll be the deciding factor here.
So I had the Olmec. I had the Maduro last night, and I did my review for that. I have not had the Claro, but if it's anything like the Maduro, you should definitely have the Olmec.
That's awesome. What size of the Olmec?
The Toro.
The Toro. Can't go wrong.
No, it was really good. It was definitely solid. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Actually going to go get my other pack. One sec.
So DJ, so I know you said you don't buy cigars that often typically, but have you ever bought consistently cigars online, or do you just go to stores mostly, B&Ms?
I usually go to stores. I bought online twice. Once from cigars.com. That's when it showed up moldy. And the other time was from Famous Smokes. And it was only because I wanted to try the Rough Rider Sweets, and I did not realize the shop down the road had them. So I bought a 5-pack of that. And that's when I was looking at cheaper sweet tip flavored cigars when I first started doing reviews. And then, there's a shop in Grapevine, so maybe 20 minutes down the road, that has 3 different rooms. They have a high-end room, an everyday cigar, and then they have a cheap room in the back that they don't really tell people about. And that cheap room in the back has everything that I was looking for. And that's where I did a lot of my first reviews, was from that back room, because I was looking for affordable cigars. But I don't love a lot of the brick and mortars around me. They're very stuck up for what they are. And if you don't buy enough cigars from them, they kind of treat you like crap. And then depending on what they buy, they're very judgy on, oh, okay, I guess you can get that.
What you got, Michael?
Little Tabernacle Havana Seed.
Nice. I'm looking for the one that the Toro one that I bought recently, but I'm gonna review that one.
Nice.
That's another cigar I haven't tried yet. I did have the Goliath though, in that blend. I think it's the same blend, just a different size, right?
The Goliath and the Havana Seed you have?
Yeah. It's just a different size.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they do the David and the Goliath and the Havana Seed.
Yeah.
Oh, boys. Boys.
Lining up your Villiger, DJ?
Yeah, I wanted to taste something different.
So was the Oktoberfest was it not performing well, flavor-wise?
No, it was fine. It just didn't change. Like, and it's been 2 hours smoking it at this point. So, wanted to try something different.
I took my headphone out, so I don't know what you guys were talking about as far as an issue.
I think he's talking about Rodriguez, the Cigars Daily.
Nah,
So we're still on
I thought
customer
it was.
service.
Yeah.
In the comments, we got thing
Okay,
going back.
I apologize. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I know that, like, you know, if you go to a brick and mortar, right, and you pick a stick out and you have an immense amount of draw issues or whatever, most of the time, if they're a pretty cool brick and mortar, they'll be like, hey, go over there, grab
Get
another
another
stick. You know, get another
Yeah.
stick. In my experience, at least, that's been the case. But it's kind of hard when you are shipping cigars because of the fact that, number one, they don't know how the cigar was kept. They
Sure.
don't know what happened during shipping, you know, and it's not to say, Matt Rodriguez, that, you know, you did anything wrong on your part. It's just to say that they have no idea of validating it, right? Whereas somebody who's walking into their shop, smoking a cigar, they go, okay, it must have been, you know, something wrong with how the cigars were shipped to us, or it was something wrong with, you know, our shop
Yeah.
and how we were holding them. So
Oh.
Yeah,
there's
and
there's so many variables, right?
the dilemma there is that it's a personable personality online that runs the shop. So if you build
Yeah,
that, what's that thing? Where it's the phrase where you develop a relationship with someone you don't actually know because you watch their videos. I can't think.
parasocial.
Yeah. So because that's how the whole online personas are, it's like, yeah, I bought from my buddy's shop. Is how that
Right.
relationship is perceived when it's
Yeah.
not sort of that way. But that's the way it's perceived by design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the way it's set up. Yeah. That sucks. And Michael, do you buy most of your cigars at B&Ms or online, or is it like an
I
even mix?
I always try to buy from my local brick and mortars just because of the fact that out here in Las Vegas we just don't have a lot of stuff that's off the strip that is conducive for cigar smokers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have two in Fuego stores, pretty much one adjacent to the strip, one in the Henderson area of town, which is like 20 minutes off the strip. And then we have a couple of outlying stores, I would say probably about three or four that are off strip. And then you have like Davidoff, you have Casa Fuente, you have Eight Lounge on the strip, right? As like the three major cigar shops on the strip that you can go and enjoy cigars. And for me, it's something where, like, on the strip, you know that you're getting charged strip pricing. Off the strip,
Mhm.
most of them do a good job of just adhering to the 30% tobacco tax that we have and not really gouging it from that point forward.
Mhm.
However, with those stores, being that two of them are owned by the same person and the other ones are smaller in terms of how much space they have in their humidor, we don't always have a lot of boutique brands, especially because it's Vegas, and most of the places that do sell cigars in Las Vegas, they want to carry the brands that have the bigger footprints, right? So
Mhm.
a lot of my boutique stuff I buy online. And when I want the Monte Cristo Espadas, when I want the Drew Estates, when I want the Arturo Fuentes, I can just go down to the store, the Tatuajes even, because they're no longer really a boutique brand, just like my father. I can
Yeah.
go to my local shops and pick those up. But if I want
Mhm.
something like, uh, if I want something that's not foundation, and if I want something that is not, if I want the viajes, like, I have one store, and if they don't get
Yeah.
it, I got to buy it online. You know,
Yeah.
if there's like a dissident, or if there's a Blackwork Studio, I have one store.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to pick and choose. because of the brand. It's like, isn't it funny to think like Tatuaje is no longer like boutique anymore? Because they've grown so much.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay? My headphone just went out.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
loud and clear.
Okay, cool. I just had to switch to the laptop audio. Yeah, it's wild that they're no longer boutique.
It's funny. And like I remember like when I first started smoking, trying to find Tatuajes was like a treasure hunt, you know, and like into I had no money when I first started smoking. So like trying to buy a single at that time, especially online, was pretty much impossible, especially of a really boutique brand like Tatuaje at the time. But like it was that Tatuajes and Illusiones were like a treasure hunt back in the day of trying to find those cigars. And now I'd say Illusiones kind of in the same boat as far as like, being so widely available. It's kind of hard to like determine them as being boutique at this point.
Mm-hmm. To answer the question, yes, I have. I've been to Fumari twice. Once was when both times were when I was visiting Frey Ranch up in Fallon, Nevada. But the shop is basically maybe 10 minutes away from the Reno airport, the Fumari store. And I went in 2019 for the first time visiting Frey Ranch on a one-day trip, and we went up to Reno, we went to Fallon, and then we drove back and we stopped at Fumari and had a cigar before we caught our flight back to Vegas because it was just a day trip for work to go and visit Frey Ranch Distillery. And then I was invited to Frey Ranch just last month, and I posted the Allegria.
Allegria? Yeah, Allegria.
Yeah, Allegria. Yeah. That's what I had at Fumari, but it was kind of weird because of the fact that I didn't sleep more than like an hour, 2 hours the night before because my flight was at 6 a.m. and it was specifically so that I could get there. I could go down and have breakfast with my buddy Rob from Frey Ranch, and then go over to Fumari and have a cigar at Fumari before we went up to Frey Ranch for the day. So I specifically moved my flight up from 9 a.m. to like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. so that I could fit a cigar in.
Yeah. That's tight. That's dedication, man.
Yeah. Yeah. The Allegria was nice. And they had an Eye of the Shark that I have in my bag up there. That I purchased there for like $18, which was awesome.
Not bad. That's really good.
Yeah. Dion keeps his prices very very nice and tight to the MSRP.
Yeah. And speaking of limited edition Fuentes, I'm looking forward to your take on the sophisticated hooker, Michael.
Ah, yes. Yeah. That review has been shot.
Oh man, once again. I don't want to ask you about your thoughts on it because your review hasn't come out yet. But like, it was for how limited and rare that cigar is. I wasn't blown away by it. But I'm hoping in that size and that figurado that it changes it up a little bit.
Yeah. I think that my buddy Devarush, he handed me a Queen of Hearts at
the short, yeah.
He handed me one of those at the Sticks and Kicks event this past Wednesday, so that'll be the second one that comes out. But the sophisticated hooker was, I feel like I see what they're doing, what's going on, like what the long-term kind of play is with that line, and it makes total sense. It's one of those that still just needs some time, man.
Yeah.
It still needs some time. But I think that overall, like it's not going to be Opus X life changing like Opus X was for the brand, but the brand also doesn't need that.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Did you smoke the Queen of Hearts?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just the sophisticated hooker.
Okay. A question for both of you guys. What is the best and your most favorite Fuente cigar you have ever smoked? It doesn't necessarily have to be like the blend in general, but like the one specific best Fuente, and obviously Opus included, the best Fuente cigar you've ever smoked.
I haven't smoked a ton, but I think I like the Hemingway the best.
Great cigar, fantastic, and just the natural, the Cameroon.
Yeah, the Cameroon.
Yeah. You, Michael?
I would say like the original Añejo line was my favorite for a while. Combination between like the 55s and the Sharks, the 77s, those were definitely my favorite back in the day. I feel as though they've kind of changed with how much I appreciate them now, because I just don't think that they're that big of a deal now. Even with the amount of age on them, like they're good, they're just not great. And maybe it's just because my tastes have changed a lot, and maybe it's because of the fact that there really weren't Maduro cigars at the time that were as exceptional flavor wise as those
nuance.
You know, so there's that. And I think that if I had to like point to something, I think that it would be like the old Don Carlos number 2s, the number 4s. Like those are really exceptional sticks. And like everything in the Don Carlos line, I feel consistently has been tremendous.
Yeah. Consistently good.
Yeah, I'd probably go with those. I was a big fan of the Rosados too.
Those are good. Underrated. Very underrated.
The King and the Queen Bees and stuff like that. Those were really good cigars.
Yeah. Mine would probably be. It was like an Opus X Robusto with like 13 years of age on it. It was just. It was like smoking cinnamon bread. It was so fucking amazing.
Those little Power Rangers, the Triple X. Those with a couple of years of age on them, like 3 to 5 years. I mean, those are exceptional sticks.
Yeah. DJ, have you ever had an Opus before?
I have not. I think I've only smoked like 3 or 4 Fuente cigars.
Okay. They're good, man. They're good.
That's what I've been told. When I first started, and I'd go to shops, and they all look exactly the same, and I have no idea like what's what.
They're not consumer friendly.
Yeah. I look at the wall. I'm like, okay, these all have various prices, and I pick up a cigar, and it would just say AF on it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to like ask, hey, explain this entire line of cigars to me, so I just go buy something else. But I know everyone loves them. I haven't met a lot of people who talk bad about Fuente cigars. I mean, they have a whole day of the week dedicated to
them. Fuente Friday, man.
Mm-hmm.
Until Flavor Fridays takes over.
That's it. I just have to actually do that.
I'm there in full support, man.
Yeah, I got a bunch of fun ones. I just haven't done it. I have one I have to smoke this fall because it is, as Keelan was like, it's pumpkin spice flavored, so it's like
PSL,
Oh goodness.
I think the last one.
I have a pumpkin one that Sean sent me in the bomb that I recorded today. He also sent me one of your Headless Horsemen's too that you talked about.
Dude,
so
those are
nice.
I'm looking forward to that. But he sent over this other Ezra Zion, this pumpkin cream one in Lancero. So
yeah,
is that flavored?
Shit, damn if I know.
I don't think they are. But if you read the like write-ups they have for them, they'll have like 40 different flavors on the cigars. They're like, yeah, you'll experience this, and you read them up. You're like, yeah, okay. When smoking the headless horseman, I'm like, sure as shit. I pretty much picked up all that.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember one day when they first came out, they were distributed by Emilio, I believe, Gary Griffith's company. And I remember meeting him down in, just coincidentally meeting him down in Nicaragua when I was down there. Super, super cool, down to earth guys.
Yeah, their stuff goes fast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never had an Ezra Zion, so I'm looking forward to actually smoking those.
Yeah.
They're sweet by reputation, at least. The chocolate mousse I have, I need to do a review on that too. That's a really good cigar.
Chocolate mousse sounds good for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
That's a flavor note that Matt thoroughly enjoys picking up.
Dude, yes. Because that obviously constitutes a creamy smoke texture too, which I fucking love.
Oh yeah.
I lit it up and I was like, "There's no way!" And sure enough, I'm like, "Yeah, on the nose. Fits the name."
Tommy, if you've been smoking Cubans for 20 years, I mean, I would say you can't go wrong with most of the natural line of Fuentes, but also, I mean, that Don Carlos Eye of the Shark, I mean, that one has a nice touch of cream to it and some nutty components big time too that you'll probably appreciate as a Cuban cigar fan. What Cubans do you enjoy smoking the most? Would be the question that I would throw back to you.
Good question.
That's another thing too. Like for me, in talking about Fuente, right? I remember everybody going crazy over the Opus stuff when I first got started in cigars, right? Like 2004, 2005-ish, right? Everybody was still talking about the Fuente Opus line. And I had some that were really good, but they were so spicy to me at the time because I had mostly been smoking Cuban cigars up in, around that 2004 to 2007 point. So I wasn't as into it back when they were readily available because of the fact that they were so spicy to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. See it now.
And Partagas are more spicy for Cubans, right? They're more like fuller bodied.
Yeah, they're definitely fuller body. So yeah, you'll be fine with the Don Carlos line and the Opus line for sure. I would say, probably even the Hemingway line.
Yeah, because the Don Carlos is kind of like an amped up Hemingway, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, Don Carlos #2, like the Hemingway signature. Even like the is it 898 or 85? I think 898. Like the 898s, like little like the 858s. Okay. Lonsdale-ish cigars, cheap. They're freaking tasty as hell.
Yeah. It's good smokes.
But obviously Opus, and DJ, we gotta make that happen. You gotta try an Opus like at some point. It's just it is a very distinct flavor profile, but it's you gotta try it. Like it's its own thing.
Oh, that's another, going back to the question that we had earlier about like what you're looking forward to smoking. So I bought the Toast Across America 2022s that had the Julius Caesar Shark and the Opus Shark. So I have those coming soon too. I'm looking forward to trying those.
Have you had them yet? Like previous years?
Neither one.
This is what I'll tell you. The Julius Caesar Shark is better off the bat. So like if with age, obviously the TAA, the Toast Across America Opus, that'll get even better. But off the bat, the JC Shark is fantastic. The Etude Brute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely do that one first then. I've been looking forward to that one. I don't really remember jumping into the Julius Caesar lineup, but I still see those regularly. The Julius
Julius Caesar, like they're solid. Like they don't, it's a fairly consistent cigar too from beginning to end. But that Shark is just it's another cigar. Like it's in a good way. Like it amps it up. It's just a more dynamic cigar, and it's overall just twice as enjoyable than all the other sizes, in my opinion.
Another good cigar, Tommy, that you might enjoy, that I thoroughly enjoyed back in the day, was the Diamond Crown Maximus line that Fuente produced. That has got some really nice kind of oaky cedar spice notes to it for a non like Fuente brand name, but under the Fuente umbrella.
Still made by Fuente, yeah.
Yeah, that was always a solid lineup.
Didn't they just re-release that one?
I believe so.
Yeah, great. The Maximus, always fantastic choice. Especially those age very well too. So he has had Fuente before. Just remember the correlation right now.
Mm-hmm. Dude, these Tabernacle Havana seeds, man, I think that I might like them better than just like the standard kind of Tabernacles.
And those are still made at AJ's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like these.
Yeah, this Olmec's good. Not as good as a Maduro, but this thing is still freaking really good.
Yeah, I went back in and I grabbed the Maduro because I had grabbed the Claro first, and I was in there grabbing a Shaolin that I got to send over to EKB.
Yeah.
At my one brick and mortar that carries Black Work Studio.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like that's pretty niche. Like I don't know of probably you know what, Small Batch. They probably carried it like within a driving distance from me. But that's a pretty niche brand for a B&M to carry.
Small Batch Cigars, is that by you?
They're ever heard of Maximar?
Yeah.
Maximar is Small Batch.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yes, and Maximar is up in Orange off of Chapman. DJ may be familiar with Chapman Street, Chapman Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first like B&M that I walked into that I was just like sensory overload. And like back in the day, just like having all like seriously not knowing any of the brands in there, and it's just a phenomenal place. Phenomenal place.
That's cool. I think that like it's one of those things where it's like a kid, right? When you first start smoking cigars and you go into a cigar shop, there's so many brands, there's so many different choices, there's so many different things, and then like the more ingrained into the industry you get, and the more that you start smoking cigars, it becomes less and less overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy to think that there are more now because of the rise of small batch than there ever were before.
And there ever has been, yeah.
There ever has been.
Absolutely. Yeah, just imagine walking into the hobby now without any context.
Oh yeah,
it'd be insane. It would take like 5 years to find a brand like Castagli,
Oh, dude, seriously. And like the thing is that there's so many good boutique brands now. There's so many imagine how long it would take for you to smoke a Crowned Heads, and how many different labels that Crowned Heads produces that you would smoke and not even realize it until you really dove into it.
Yeah, these come from the same company.
Right.
The Bygone. Never heard of it.
Same.
Who's it made by? Or is that just the name of the brand? What's one cigar you had recently that you were disappointed by? You had high hopes.
I don't think that it was the cigar's fault, but definitely the Viaje Private Keep, the lemon. I felt like that one needed some time to like chill out, and I only bought one. I was kind of pissed that I did that.
Lived up to its name.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. What about you, DJ?
It didn't disappoint me, but I was surprised at how weak it was. It was the Rune Nation. What is it? The Armory? Armada? Something like that.
Armada.
Big ass cigar, gold wrapper, incredibly light. It was very surprising. Like
Really?
For a Man of War, I was like, oh, okay.
Huh.
It wasn't bad. It was just surprising. Oh, the one that disappointed me was the La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor Reserva. It tasted like nothing when I smoked it.
Really?
You guys both smoked La Aroma de Cuba. Or no, you smoked La Gloria Cubana, and then you smoked La Aroma de Cuba.
Yeah. And every time I've done La Aroma, the best one is the cheapest one. Like the base model. That's the only, don't buy any other ones. That's the best one.
Yeah, just the red foot band. Just stick with that.
Just buy that and be done. Like everything
Kia.
else, I'm like, this one costs more money. It's not as good.
Yeah. The what's it called? The Noblesse? The La Roma de Cuba Noblesse?
Yeah, I haven't had that one.
That is a fantastic cigar. It is the most expensive one, and I have one. So the next time something comes out your way, that may have to be in there. But that's like it's a very high end, my father just tasty ass cigar. Very Cuban-esque too.
That's the green band? No,
it's a like a powder blue band.
Okay.
Yeah, the Passion's green.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Not a bad cigar.
How about the recent film by Pete getting like, what was it, 50,000 views its first month?
Hand rolled,
yeah. That was really nice.
Dude, that was awesome to see.
They did a nice job with that.
I think I got halfway through that today.
I still got to finish probably like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, we were
awesome video.
We were carving pumpkins, and one of them was like fucking spaghetti inside. So I was trying to pull out all the seeds, and I'm like, I need something on just while I do this, because it took me like 30 minutes to go through that damn pumpkin. And then we carved it from the bottom, because apparently that's what you're supposed to do. And all that did was make it so anything that was hanging down could catch on fire.
Yeah.
So I was just raking everything out of it, man.
Yeah. And I saw the comment pop up it's a good invite, dude. I've never heard of that cigar, and I think you said the name of the brand too. I have no idea. Never heard of it. Yeah. It was a good PR piece for that as well.
Mm-hmm. It's important.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that like Rock Vittel, he doesn't get enough credit for, because he is so embedded in like the politics of cigars, because he was a lawyer, so like when it comes to like the litigation stuff with like, all the acts that they try to pass to put more taxes on cigars, and he's like one of the main figures in the cigar industry fighting against that. He doesn't get enough credit for that.
Well, that was why I kind of brought up the whole entire insurance thing with everybody earlier in the week offline. And for those watching this, like, on the replay of the live stream, I was basically just talking about how the people that handle my health insurance or my life insurance, they couple cigar smokers in with cigarette smokers with just tobacco users as a broad category. And the funny thing was that when I asked about it, my insurance agent or my financial advisor, whatever they want to be called nowadays, they were just like, they initially were putting marijuana users in the same boat as tobacco users. And then when it was legalized in just a small number of states, they went back and they had evidence that showed that it was not the same as standard cigarette tobacco users. So they changed that, but they have not changed it for cigar users.
Which is insane, because like people that smoke cigars probably smoke less cigars than people who smoke marijuana.
And also, you're not inhaling.
True. Yeah, that's a big good point.
which was my biggest pushback. I was just like, well, how can we use this like antiquated anecdotal study that says that smoking a cigar is the equivalent of smoking a whole entire pack of cigarettes when you're not even inhaling it? And sure, you're absorbing nicotine to a certain level, you're absorbing some of the smoke to a certain level, but you're not absorbing tar, you're not absorbing certain chemicals that are found in cigarettes that are added to them. And generally, like if you look at Don Pepin Garcia, if you look at Arturo Fuentes Sr., if you look at anybody that's been in the cigar industry their whole entire lives, they typically live pretty long. and they also don't die of lung cancer or throat cancer or mouth cancer usually. So like, what is why are we hung up on this old antiquated stuff that just says that it's all the same?
Damn good point. And it makes no sense.
There was this there's this documentary on Netflix. I believe it's like, God, I forget. My wife was telling me about it. It's it basically breaks down like some of the trivial like categories. They talk about mushrooms, and they also talk about tobacco as like one of the episodes. I have to figure out the name of it and put it in the comments below, but the episode that they do on tobacco is all about how it was traditionally utilized as medicine back in the day. And, the indigenous people of, North America and the Caribbean and everywhere else that had tobacco, they would bunch it up, smoke it, use it as a certain type of medical aid. And it's just like, yeah, man. And you're relaxed. You're less stressed out.
Yep. Stress is the number one killer.
Yep. So weird.
Yep. And as soon as you said the word relaxed, that comment popped up. Like, and you relax while you enjoy a cigar.
Yeah. Especially if you're nugs.
Yeah, especially. But I've always said the health risks that are involved with smoking cigars are overshadowed by the amount of peace of mind and relaxation that your soul and your mind and body get while smoking a cigar. So I always think that outweighs any sort of negative potential occurrences from smoking physically.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, we are past 3 hours, boys.
Yeah, we are there, boys.
This is time where DJ, you probably got to go pretty soon.
Yeah, I gotta bounce.
You got to bounce. I gotta use the bathroom. So might as well call it quits here.
I think so, fellas. I think so. DJ, anything else you want to say before the outro? Matt, anything else you want to say before the outro?
I'm good.
Subscribe to Master Your Ash. If you're watching this, subscribe to Master. We got to get you to 1,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's the goal, right? That's the goal. We got 2 more months to do it. Oh, you're fine, Tommy. Don't worry about joining late, man. It's all good. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing.
Absolutely.
And we'll catch you again for another live stream very, very soon.
All right, guys.
Thanks, fellas.
Yeah, great hanging out.
Yeah, likewise, boys. Likewise. Be well. Have a happy and safe Halloween, everybody, too, huh?
You too, man.
All righty. I'm gonna call it.
Okay.